Breaking news. Breaking news. Come on in, folks. JLR Investigates with the breaking news. Here he is. Here he is. Here's the guy that got arrested by the FBI. Ransom note hoax, folks. A ransom hoax. Ransom note hoax. Derrick CALLELLA. What the heck's going on here? He got arrested at his girlfriend's house, it appears, or something affiliated with his girlfriend. But we're going to talk about this California man here that I have on the right with the yellow hair. Could be some sort of punk rocker. He could be some sort of a goth. He has a business called Hunk Flesh. Hunk Flesh. So earlier today, we were continuous coverage. A lot of people are in the chat. Come on in. We're going to talk about the craziness, right? The ransom notes. The ransom notes. Nancy Guthrie still missing. But we're back. And I started digging around. I found all types of profiles on this guy. But why? Why would this guy do this? Why would this guy here, a 42-year-old man on the right from California, try to use a VPN? And we did use a VPN. He tried to spoof his IP. Federal authorities went right around it and caught this guy. This is the guy that has been arrested. What we heard at the press conference today, that well, he's been sending texts to the Guthrie family asking for Bitcoin. This is wild. Ransom notes, ransom. This is part of the ransom note discussion, right? This dude got arrested. And I'm going to share some details about this. So we're going to keep the conversation going. Whoa, a lot of people in the chat. Listen, we are 100% invested into finding Nancy. We want her found alive, but finding out what happened, why, who's involved, and every single twist and turn, even the sidetrack stuff like this, what we have, the drama, the craziness. Who in their heck would want to sit there and try to take advantage of a grieving family that is trying to find their loved one? The Guthrie family has been harassed by this guy right here. Horrible. Allegedly, of course, allegedly, but we'll read the complaint. In the meantime, know the face. No, we got to know these faces, right? You know, yesterday we went on for 12 hours talking about Tommaso Cioni, who is not cleared, by the way. None of them are cleared. Nobody's cleared. You could arguably say SAVANNAH's not cleared. But most people think SAVANNAH's not involved. There's people that people think are involved. There's talks and rumors. But, you know, when it comes to creeps like this, they need to be exposed. On all platforms, know these people do these things. This is like, this is bad. This is someone that is an opportunist. This is someone that is sinister, evil, that would have the audacity to jump onto a national tragedy and try to exploit a family that is missing their loved one. It's horrible. And kudos to the FBI for actually, you know, people send things over the internet to people all the time, right? I get all types of anonymous threats and crazy people sending me stuff on ghost accounts and everything like that. You know, we would be sending police and law enforcement threats on wild goose chases all the time. And sometimes they go after people, sometimes they don't. But in this case, they said, we're going after this dude. Or we're going to find out who's it. It's terrifying. It's quite terrifying, folks. But we're gonna share. So, you know, I don't know if he got the smoke. He got the smoke. So keep sharing the video out. Know your criminal. He's from Los Angeles. His name is Derrick CALLELLA. CALLELLA. He's involved with numerous businesses including Viking River Cruises and Hunk Flesh. I don't even know what Hunk Flesh is. I think it's like a punk rock attire. Hunk Flesh. He is 42 years old, according to the criminal complaint, born in 1983. I have the criminal complaint, and we're going to share exactly what this guy did or what he's accused of doing. You know, presumption of innocence, I guess. But come on, man. You know, people make mistakes and do things and get caught up and get arrested, fine. But when you go to this type of crazy, extreme stuff, throw the book. This guy will probably be going to prison now for 3 years for this. My prediction. I'm going to share the thing from Bill Malusian. In the meantime, I'll actually put the banner in the right corner of the screen so you can kind of see I've been arrested. But I'm going to read this criminal complaint here because I think it's important to share. And then we're going to go over his profile. So I'm going to show you how dark, sinister this guy is based off his profiles. Because the people's profiles are very telling, wouldn't you say? A Los Angeles man named Derrick CALLELLA has been arrested by the FBI for allegedly sending texts to the Guthrie family to ask for Bitcoin and to see if they would respond. His text messages are not believed to be connected to the actual ransom stuff, which those things could possibly be a hoax too. It's not connected to that. This is just some sort of outsider because we heard it at the press conference today, but police have to go track this guy down, FBI. It's horrible. It's a waste of resources. How he got caught. Fed said he tried to use a VoIP app while they were able to quickly get around via an emergency disclosure request to the mobile carrier. It's a VPN, same thing. VoIP, VPN, people trying to mask who they are. Then they found his IP address and linked to his California address. Now, I'll make myself smaller here so we can talk about this guy. Who is this guy? Derrick CALLELLA. Derrick CALLELLA. DOB, 1983. He's charged in a criminal complaint in Arizona. See that extradition, pal. He's in California. He's getting extradited. They're not going to release him. So not only did he just do something stupid, ridiculous, crazy, but he gets a free trip to Arizona, courtesy of the U.S. taxpayer, U.S. Marshals. They're not going to let him out on this in California. They're going to make sure he goes to Arizona. Now, he'll probably get out on bond in Arizona. But the magistrate judge, and I would say there's a level of dangerousness, flight risk, that sort of deal. Federal criminal complaints. If you're charged feds, well, Don Lemon got arrested in Los Angeles. He was charged in Minnesota. They just let him out there, but that situation. But a lot of times in the feds, if you are charged with a criminal complaint and they're picked up out of state, you're pretty much going to that state. I mean, you could fight it. Sure, he can fight at his detention hearing, and he might very well do it. I have nothing to do with this, but we'll see what he did. Complaint for violation of 18 U.S.C. 875 and Title 47 U.S.C. 223A1C. Complaints, statement of facts constituting the offense of violation on or about February 4th, yesterday. He did it yesterday. Derrick CALLELLA, with the intent to transmit and demand for ransom, did transmit in interstate or foreign commerce any communication containing any demand or request for a ransom or reward for the release of any kidnapped person in violation of 18 U.S.C. 875. What is the penalty to that? I would say 10 years in prison. Let's see. 18 U.S.C. What do we got? 1875? 1875 or 875. 875 penalties. I would say 10 years. But let's see. Dun, dun, dun. Holy smokes, up to 20 years in prison. 18 U.S.C. 875, penalties for transmitting interstate threats, depending on the nature of the threat, with maximum prison sentences ranging from 2 to 20 years. plus potential fines. Violations include ransom demands, up to 20 years. Kidnapping injury threats, up to 5 years. And extortionate threats to reputation or property, up to 2 years. He faces 20 years. 20 years for sending ransom, harassment, demands to the Guthrie family. That's the guy on the right. Apparently got picked up at his girlfriend's house. Blue hair. Count two. Count two. On or about February 4th, 2026, Derrick, CALLELLA, in interstate or foreign communications, made a telephone call and utilized a telecommunications device, whether or not conversation or communication ensures text, without disclosing his identity with the intent to abuse, threaten, or harass any specific person. You know, anyone that thinks they want to do this, and don't do it. Don't do it. Anyone thinks it's cute to call someone on a VoIP, VPN, an anonymous masker, an ANI spoofer, don't do it. 47 USC 223 penalties. You know, they can run that stuff consecutive too, multiple counts. 47 USC 223 prohibits obscene, harassing, or threatening interstate communications, including non-consensual intimate imagery, like revenge porn. Violations are generally federal offenses punishable by up to $50,000 fine, imprisonment up to 2 years. So you know why they did that? Because it's an insurance. So if he doesn't get the other one conviction, at least get that. He'll at least go away for 2 years. Maybe, maybe not. Basis of complaints charged against the accused. Now, we're going to talk about the complaint came today. Now, this talks a little bit about NG. And you know who NG is. Nancy Guthrie. Not National Guard. Nancy Guthrie. Let me see if I can blow this up some. We'll go right here. We'll just go right here. We'll keep it here. You can just hear my voice. The guy that got arrested for sending the ransom, the fake ransom demand. NG was last seen inside a residence in the Catalina Foothills community outside Tucson, Arizona on January 31st, 2026. NG is an 84-year-old woman with mobility issues that likely preclude her from walking long distance unassisted. On the morning of February 1st, 2026, a friend of NG's contacted the victim's family, notified them that NG had not attended church that morning. At approximately noon, February 1st, 2026, NG's family entered their residence and determined that she was missing and reported her disappearance to law enforcement. So it's pretty much stuff we already know. Law enforcement arrived shortly afterward and determined that NG had left basic essentials inside her home, including her wallet, car, cell phone, hearing aid. Didn't hear that before. See, sometimes in different documents, you get a little bit more. Hearing aid, her hearing aid and medication. Did we hear her hearing aid before? I know we heard the wallet, car, cell phone, hearing aid. NG's blood was found on the outside of her residence near her porch. Does not say blood was found inside the house. On February 2nd, Cold, K-O-L-D, a CBS affiliate in Tucson, Arizona, received a ransom demand via their online tip portal. That's interesting. So Cold got it via their online tip portal. The demand listed Bitcoin wallet address to receive the ransom payment. On February 4th, 2026, NG's family published a video asking NG's kidnappers to contact them about their mother. Here we go. Counts 1 and 2. And I'm going to read your comment, Kelly, shortly that you sent through. On or about February 4th, yesterday, shortly after shortly after the video was published, AC and TC, the daughter and son-in-law of NG, both separately received a text message from the following phone number. AC and TC. AC. AC. So she actually goes, and that's Annie, but it's not Annie Guthrie, it's Annie Cioni and Tommaso Cioni. So this is interesting because the sheriff today said, you're putting names out there. They could be potential victims too. Guess what? Guess what? In this particular case right here, it's Tommaso and AC, Annie, being a victim from this guy. AC and TC, the daughter and son-in-law, both separately received a text message from the following number. It shows the number. Stating, did you get the Bitcoin? We're waiting on our end for the transaction. Holy smokes, this guy's crazy. He texted Annie and Tommaso, and he said, did you get the Bitcoin? We're waiting on our end for the transaction. AC and TC received these texts while in Arizona. This guy's crazy. Law enforcement was able to determine through open-end source methods that the 0552, that's his last four numbers, was associated with the voice over internet protocol, VoIP, text and call application that allows users to obtain another phone number for their mobile device separate from the number assigned to them by their wireless carrier. What an idiot. He knows. What a dummy. The FBI is watching everybody's phones that are numbers that are coming in. And if you're going to try to use a VPN, they're going to do every single investigated tools or VoIP to get that person. And this guy tried trolling him. I don't know. Is he serious? Are they serious? Law enforcement submitted an emergency disclosure arrest to the 0552 number. Based on the records provided for the 0552 number, which was registered to the following email address, DerrickCALLELLA@gmail.com. The records also indicate that the 0552 number had been accessed from the following IP address, 70/93/243/0103 at approximately 6:02 on February 4th, 2026. 6:02. Later, our law enforcement has submitted an emergency disclosure request to the internet provider for the 103 IP and determined that the 103 IP was associated with CALLELLA's residence in California. Dude, this guy's crazy. There he goes. 99% of the Fed's convictions are the statement you give to the feds. After Miranda warnings, CALLELLA admitted to sending the two text messages. He admitted to using the VoIP account because they probably are like accusing him of actually being the kidnapper. No, it's a joke. It's a joke. He admitted to using the VoIP account from which two actual text messages came from. CALLELLA stated that he pulled family information from the cyber website and that he'd been following along and watching TV. When he said that he sent text messages, he was trying to see if the family would respond. He's a fool. Exactly. An LA loser. Data reveal shows that approximately 3 minutes after the text messages, CALLELLA called a family member of NG, Nancy Guthrie, which lasted 9 seconds. The two text messages have not been linked to the February 2nd ransom demand. Special Agent Carrie Witherspoon with the Federal Bureau of Investigations. Know your crazy people. Let's discuss. Oh, by the way, this dude has been arrested before for all types of benefit fraud or something. LA district attorney charged 13 LA County employees with stealing over $400,000 of unemployment benefits. Crazy. So let's take this down and put the criminal guy back up. Let's put him back up onto the screen. We're going to put this guy on the screen and talk about what we just learned here. This guy watched the Guthrie family yesterday, as we all watched in real time, more or less, put that statement out on Instagram about, you know, the family's willing to work with or wants to communicate with the kidnappers, or, you know, we want to talk kind of deal, you know. This guy then uses a VoIP. He admits it to the feds, uses a VoIP and starts texting Tommaso and Annie, talking about, I got the money. I got the money. I got the mots. I got the money. Texts them twice, and then apparently called somebody else, a family member of NG. That lasted 9 seconds. He tried to spoof his number. Authorities are 100% on that because, you know, Tommaso gets it. See, here's the thing about Tommaso, in Tommaso's situation, and Annie. Some people think they're involved or not. We don't know. They're not clear. But say they're involved, whatever like that, and they're getting this. This is a good way for them to divert the tension off them and spin it back at somebody else doing something. If they're involved, but you get what I'm saying. But this guy victimized literally Tommaso. Probably got their numbers because they're listed. I don't know. It's crazy. It's absolutely crazy. But who is he? Who is he? I found a dark, sinister side to this Derrick. He got kids. He got kids. But we're going to expose him when JLR investigates. So let me continue to read first. By the way, Brian Hinton is reporting that authorities are back at Nancy's home, or by the home, in the neighborhood. I wonder what that is about. So I'm going to look a little bit about that and see if there's any weight to that. Combing the beach, the ransom note. That's the discussion that we're having today. There he is. There he is. And he was arrested back in 2025. October 2025, according to news reports, and the office of Nathan Hochman, district attorney for Los Angeles County, LADA charges 13 LA County employees. So he's an LA County employee at one point, with stealing over $430,000 in unemployment benefits. And they're listing the names. And number 3 in the list, Derrick Anthony CALLELLA, born in 1983. Same as there's nobody else in that state of California with the same name. Case Department of Health Services intermediate clerk allegedly stole $9,984 in unemployment benefits between May 6, 2020 and January 20th, 2022. Arraignment is set for November 20th in the Department 30 of the Foltz Criminal Justice Center. Probably in Los Angeles. Probably didn't even have to post a bond. So he gets out. Think about this guy. He's a schemer. He's a fraudster because he's trying to defraud the Guthrie family. He knows he's not going to get none, but maybe he thought the Guthrie family was going to send him some. Somebody said they captured the fall guy. They captured the fall guy. JLR, if this dude texted Savannah, he texted Annie and Tommaso. Tommaso and Annie. But he also called somebody else. JLR, if this dude texted Savannah, he had to have gotten her number from someone close to her. Plus, he's in a band and Italian. Now, Kelly, there are some people out there on the internet that feel this guy's connected because of the band stuff. I saw that. Oh, he's in a band, coincidentally. Well, he's in a band. Tommaso's in a band too, right? He's into a band. He's into music. He's into fashion and grunge, like grunge type fashion. This guy. Is he the fall guy? I can imagine why he would confess, because law enforcement would probably be all the way up on his, like they'd be riding him hard, thinking he's involved with the kidnapping. Like the actual kidnap. They probably went to his house thinking Nancy was there. You would think. They probably went to his house thinking, Nancy, you don't know. They probably, they don't know. Like the feds don't know. Like they get this, Tommaso and Annie's getting this text from a guy saying, I want the Bitcoin. I want the Bitcoin. Oh, here's the guy. Now, the feds could now, if the feds already think that Tommaso and Annie are involved already, they might just think, well, let me see what's going on. Maybe they're looking at and acting on it because they remember, like, maybe they come clean and direct it to the person responsible. I don't know. But they acted fast, faster than fast. Within 24 hours, they acted fast. Would have acted fast. And we're kind of just bannering here a little bit while we're talking and sharing what's going on. Probably not going to get a press conference again. The Pima County Sheriff's Office also put a statement out. I want to get this up here. Regarding, they don't want people to call their tip line anymore for a certain reason. Is this the one? Messages on the tip line? Yeah, look at this right here. I'm going to move myself down. We'll go down even farther. And they're pretty much saying, statement from the Pima County Sheriff's Department. The Pima County Sheriff's Department understands that many people want to share their thoughts and prayers with the family of Nancy Guthrie. And we appreciate the community's support. We respectfully ask that these messages be shared on social media and not through the PCSD non-emergency line. Calls expressing condolences have overwhelmed our communication staff, and it's critical that these lines remain available for law enforcement purposes. So people are calling their actual non-emergency line, giving condolences to Nancy. Now, that's a good thing, but they're saying, yo, stop. You're flooding our system. But what always happens with these cases, always happens, the wackadoodles come out of the woodwork. The crazies and the wackadoodles, opportunists. Remember John Mark Carr and John Benet Ramsey? Remember the guy from Thailand? Remember that guy? And he has nothing to do with John Benet Ramsey. And he just literally just says, I killed John Benet Ramsey. And all these cameras, he's like, yep, I did it. And they're parading him through and he's being saturated. He gets a free trip to America. They have to bring him back out there to Boulder only for them to say this guy's a Fruit Loop. That's what happens with these cases. We've also heard when there's missing people or unsolved crimes, the tip lines just get crazy, from psychics to people with the most crazy allegations. That just happens. But then there's also crazies out there that just feel like they want to interject themselves or be part of the plot and do something. And that's what we got here. But this is criminal. This is appalling. JLR, get your behind to Tucson. I'm thinking about going to Tucson. Like, I'm really packing up here to go to Tucson. We're going to find out what's going on. We're going to all the stores we're asking about surveillance. We're going to be combing the beach, combing the mountain. I think I really want to go to Tucson. I mean, at least we can do stuff that the mainstream media is not necessarily allowed to do. The mainstream media, I think, is doing, some of them are doing a great job out there, but we can kind of go off the cuff here because we're not backed by corporations, and we do our thing. If I went to Tucson, I'd be over there just planting cameras and just watching and watching and watching and watching and seeing what the next moves are. On a public street, of course, everything hopefully legally. Yeah, there's no beach. Desert in Tucson. Tucson's nice. I've been there numerous times. Tucson's nice. I mean, I thought it was sketchy when I was there because this goes with the original theory. When I was originally there, I saw a lot of security at a lot of these shopping plazas and everything. Apparently, there's a lot of crime there in certain areas, but I still saw security after security after security. It's hot there in the summer too. You don't want to go there in summer, but now it's nice because the nation's really cold. And there it's not that bad. But if we went around, we would, I got a little ways to find out what they've searched for and what they haven't, to try to identify, put pressure on certain individuals. But you also don't want to impede with an investigation, of course. You want to have faith and trust that law enforcement get this done. And guess what? We said yesterday, this case will be solved. I said this case will be solved within 24 hours. And guess what? It's not. I mean, I do think the press conference today was a something burger because we got the timeline stuff. We got little bit details here and there. Not as much as we should know, but what are we actually entitled to in an open investigation? Do we have rights in an open investigation? And I know I'm just talking. I'm just keeping this guy's photo because, this guy, I'm sure he has friends and everything like that. Now he gets to see himself on YouTube. Are we the first people to put this guy's photo up on YouTube? Probably. That's how we do. All right, so let's go to his Instagram. Let's go to this guy's Instagram. So I'm going to get his Instagram up here. We're going to take a look, a sneak peek at his Instagram. We're going to see how dark and edgy Mr. Derrick is. IG. Where's his IG? Okay, here we go. IG up. IG up. Here we go. IG up. He calls himself the Secret Mutilator. He calls himself the Secret Mutilator. This is him. Music band. Secret Mutilator. This is the guy that tried to extort or troll or harass the Guthrie family in their darkest time, in their darkest moment. And look, the secret, look at this guy. Something's not normal here. Satanic, right? Look at this guy. I mean, this is what the feds are dealing with. Look. What in the heck is going on here? What is that? Dude, I'm looking at this for the first time. What is that? Gotta make sure there's no music. So hopefully there's no music in any of this. If there's music, I'm gonna move on. Hopefully there's no nudity or anything crazy. This is this guy's Instagram. What is this? New Year's Afters. So he's promoting a live performance at Delta Sign. Secret Mutilator. The Secret Mutilator. What in the heck is going on here? This is the guy. I think. I don't know. Secret Mutilator. Look! This is what I'm talking about. This is the guy that was sending ransom texts. This is crazy stuff, man. Look. And what is that? What? Well, this is crazy. What are we looking at here? This stuff is crazy. I saw the page, but I'm like, yeah. Whoa. Knives and boots. This is some sick stuff. What is going on? Yeah, it smells like a freak show. Wars churning. Chewing. Wars chewing. Minimal sync maximum. This guy is like a piece of work. Look at this. Secret or SecNet mutilation. Or you mutilatin. Mutilatin. I don't know, man. This is like, wow. This is the guy that got arrested. This is his Instagram. Know your people. Know what society is dealing with here. Know what society's dealing with. He calls himself the secret mutilator. Look, cassette box. Cassettes. Secret mutilator. All right, let me go back up here. I mean, he's still got stuff. It keeps going. Hold on. Whoa! This is some dark, edgy stuff, man. Fed's got this guy off the streets. Is this him? Yeah, because he does his hair. Yeah, that's him. This is the guy. The only good bug is a dead bug. I don't know what to say. Know your people, folks. So you got Tommaso in a band. You got this guy in a band. This guy's sending Tommaso money requests. Look at this. Anarchy. Bringing the boat and performing is anarchy. Yeah, we should play like our suspense music. What in the heck? Here he is. That's him. It appears the girlfriend, who I have on the thumbnail, was with him when he got arrested. Maybe she was. Maybe she was. What's that? What the heck is going on here? Who is he hanging around with? This is the Bitcoin Crypt Keeper. This is the person. This is his associates. This is the person that called Tommaso or called the Guthrie family, at least one call, and texted Annie and Tommaso, him. Let's find more pics of him. What in the heck? Red Beret. I don't know who that is. Oh, here he is. Look. Dun, dun, dun. Look at this. Black handkerchief. This is crazy. I don't know, man. This is showing you who's out on the streets, lurking out there. What in the heck? Whoa. This is crazy. He thinks he's Sid Vicious. All right, so thoughts. Share your thoughts. Holy smokes. What actor is that? That looks like, what actor with that face? Show that face. Who's the actor that has that kind of face? Colin? Is his name Colin? What actor has that face? Who that face? That face looks familiar. Does anyone know? What is it? Colin Farrell? Yo, look at the face. Colin Farrell. Colin Farrell. Crazy thing is about this guy has a kid. Crazy. I just want to get in my car and ride away forever. Just me and my girlfriend, you know, me and her and me and my black Mercedes, ride away and take it. I'll take me. That's what he's saying. What else we got? Whoa! Yo, I thought this was the girl from Minnesota that's wanted for stealing federal property. You know what I'm talking about? It looks just like her. If you've been following the Minnesota case, those people that stole all the federal property, dude, it looks just like the girl. Mira, M-I-R-A. It looks just like her. Is it her? Is that her? Yo, hold on. Look. No, I'm serious. This is crazy. There's that girl that got the FBI, the one that apparently, the one there that was, you know, accused of taking the stuff. Nah, I don't think it's her, though. Dude, it might be her. It might be her. That would be 6 degrees of separation. Crazy. Drinks. We're just, folks, for people coming in the chat, there has been somebody been arrested in connection with a fake ransom demand, and we're just kind of sharing who he is, I guess. I mean, you know, something to do. Know your people. Look at this guy. It's the same. That's his girlfriend. She got the purple hair. Punks. He says punks. Purple hair. It was crazy. What in the world? Whoa. What's going on here, people? Who is that guy? Is that even a is that a doll? Or is that a real person, or is that a doll? What a mess. Know your people. Know your people. Hey, we're gonna like scouring the net on these crazies. Literally. This guy's crazy, man. Dude, he might get 20 years in prison for what he just did. Maybe. I don't think he'll get this. It's very rare that people get the statute maximum. I think he gets a 4-piece for what he did to the Guthrie family. I think he gets 4 years. Look, him. He's the one that did it. Arrested. And he admitted to it. So I know there's some, you know, I know a lot of people say innocent until proven guilty or whatever like that. But does that apply when you actually admit to the crime, to the law enforcement? If you admit to it, I guess there's still a formality, I guess. I guess you could say that you confessed to a crime under duress, forced. I guess. Guy admitted to it. The guy admitted to sending texts to Tommaso Cioni. Oh, by the way, Tommaso Cioni, the basis school, that 6th grade teacher, they scrubbed his name off their site. I just noticed that. I was brought to my attention by a friend on Twitter. They scrubbed his profile off their school site. Does that mean anything? Share your thoughts in the chat, folks. JJ, 8-ball. Always great to see you. As always. The stupids are come out of the woodwork. We can share who they are, Ben. That's what we're doing. They want to come out of the woodwork, especially if we're covering the case that they come out of the woodwork. Yes. Would we normally be going around the Instagram of some wackadoodle like this? Probably not. Look at this. But this guy chose to put his neck out there. He tried to extort, harass, intimidate the Guthrie family. Now we want to know who secret mutilator is. Los Angeles. It's crazy stuff, man. Nothing to it. Vogue, 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 Vogue. Some creepy stuff. Look at secret mutilator. Mutilator. Goth. See? There he is. This stuff's this crazy, man. There he is. Is there music on? What the heck? That's pretty creepy. That's like, what kind of music is that? I was actually listening. I was beatboxing a little bit to it. I was like that song, 5, 4, 3, 2. I'm gonna be a little sarcastic, folks, but we're just having a little banter while we do this. Scary stuff. There he is. He's a DJ. Oh, and he got a beard. Pretty crazy. Live at the Snake Pit. Live at the Snake. I'm going to keep this up for a second. I just want to look out. While we're looking, I just want to scour the net. So again, the news report is this guy right here got arrested. A California man is facing criminal charges after he allegedly demanded Bitcoin payments from the family of 84-year-old Nancy Guthrie. He demanded it from Annie and Tommaso. Derrick, 42, is charged with transmitting a ransom demand related to a kidnapping person in anonymous interstate communications intending to harass or threaten. The text messages are not linked to the ones that were actually received to, or the messages or the emails received to the news stations. This guy has also been arrested for stealing money in LA County unemployment benefits. He tried to steal $9,984 in unemployment benefits from the Department of Health, and he got arrested just in October 15th. Shouldn't have been out on the streets. Well, then, you get arrested for that. You probably make bond for that, I would think. Yo. See what I'm saying? Is this guy, I don't know, is this guy involved in any way? I mean, you think the feds fully vetted him? Is this just a weirdo? We're looking at the secret mutilator. Look at this guy. Whoa. Yo, his dude's dancing. With each other. Whoa. Yeah, if I was the Guthries, I'd be very afraid of this guy. I'd be very afraid. Be very afraid, man. Absolute. Look. That's a gun. I don't know what that is. I don't even like weed. I love blunted smoke. Whoa. Mutant Transmissions Festival. This is scary stuff, folks. This is the guy. He's the guy. We got him. You hear it first on JLR Investigates. Know these people. All right, let me see what's brewing and popping. People are sending me all types of tips. Derrick, CALLELLA. Yeah, man. We'll keep exposing these people. He might know something. He's in jail right now. So as you go down, as you scroll down, obviously they get earlier and earlier in their career. People transform over time. Sometimes they evolve better. Sometimes they evolve worse. But as you scroll down someone's profile, you get older and older and older, and you get way back when they're younger and younger. Some people change, some people don't. Look, middle finger. Some people might like, there's nothing important. We're just sharing. We're just sharing who this guy is. This guy got arrested. Hey, we're going to put him in the news. It's almost like 5, Arizona. Oh, yeah. That's another thing. That's another thing, folks. Holy smokes. We got 19 minutes to 5 o'clock in Arizona. Holy smokes. There's a deadline. The 5 p.m. deadline. There was a deadline. The actual ransom said today, and there's a deadline next week, but one of the ransom said there was a deadline. 5 p.m. Look what time it is. Look what time it is. What did the real kidnappers ask for? And then if this guy was the Bitcoin, did they ask for US dollar or Bitcoin too? I wonder. I think this guy, Murky, and everyone in the chat was watching Savannah's family yesterday, just like we did, and instantly just probably was on some drugs or something, and instantly contacted Tommaso and Annie. I mean, their numbers, I've seen their numbers. They're in the databases. Everyone's phone number pretty much is in databases, really. And just literally text them and tried to latch on. Dude looks like George Zimmerman here. But think about this. Think about this. The FBI, the goal was, I guess, look. Oh, who was that? But the FBI, they wanted the Guthrie family or, help them. They said they really didn't do anything in reference to them writing, what they were going to say. But the goal was for someone to respond to what they said and communicate. Then you get this wackadoodle here texting Annie and Tommaso, and the FBI might think the guy's the guy. Because normally they're not going to track you down that fast. They tracked this dude down fast. By the time they had a press conference, they did this yesterday. This dude was arrested within, I would say, 15 hours from California. They came to him within 15 hours. And literally, they probably came to his house thinking that Nancy was there. Maybe originally. Maybe. Like, he's the one. They probably went there with their guns drawn. Boom! Where is she? I didn't do it. No. I was just playing. Haha! Joke's on you, pal. People saying the fall guy. Well, he's not charged with kidnapping. Dude, it just goes on and on and on. We'll share about him. Is this him? Here he is. Know who these people are. There he is with the boot. It's like, I don't know, man. All right, this is his very first Instagram photo. We're all the way at the bottom. This is dated 2016. So 10 years ago. He's what? How old is he now? 42? 43. A long romantic walk to the liquor store, he says. He's going on a romantic walk to the liquor store. Let me see if I yeah, I thought I had this dude's he has no extensive criminal record though. Not like that. All right, so we kind of looked at his Instagram. We've seen through the craziness. Let's go to his Facebook, shall we? So I'm going to add this to the stage, take this down. I'm going to get that up in the pipeline. We have an arrest, folks. But it's not arrest in reference to Nancy, but some people think he's the fall guy. And I get it. But I don't think he's involved in anything with this in any way, shape, or form. As far as the actual working with people, though he's in a band. All right, where are you at? We're going to visit him on his Facebook profile, all public Facebook profile. So let me move myself over to the right. Well, what do we got here? There he is. That was on his Instagram. We saw that. Well, let me click. Look at this. Look at this. Shut up. Play something evil. He's married to Luigi or Luiga Azul. Oh, her Facebook profile's gone. She took it down. She took it down. It was up earlier. I saw it. I saw this. She took it down. She took it down. Yeah, she knows what's up. Probably like, this is CNN News. Do you have any comment on your boyfriend today sending ransom demands? Maybe she's involved. I don't know. Like I said, she's on the thumbnail. Apparently, they were living together. Band stuff. What's that? Version galore. See, here's what's crazy. Fortunately, we're probably going to see it, and that sucks. He has a kid. The dude has a kid. Doesn't look like he likes the president of the United States very much. No workplace, no school, no marry. Heck, this is crazy stuff. Dude, Tim McVeigh. Straight up Tim McVeigh. Columbine kids. Poor kid. All right, so we're going to go back. He has another page. He has another page. Ransom note. So I'm going to get the other Facebook page up in the woodwork. We're going to know who this person is. His other one, it seems like it's more active than, well, no, not necessarily. But I'm going to get his other page up. This is the guy. Derrick CALLELLA. Derrick CALLELLA. All right. So, what happened to his other page? Hold on. Let me get his other page. Derrick CALLELLA. Here he is. Here's the one. He has two. So he has an Instagram. He has a YouTube channel, by the way. Behold of the pale horse. Definitely the pale horse. Like the look. Crazy. Sharing who these people are. 10 minutes. 10 minutes. We got a 10-minute deadline, folks. I got to monitor that. Dude, it's Colin Farrell, man. Whoa. Dude, I got another photo of him. Or him or her or what? Coming from Secret Mutilator. I'm going to get this up in the pipeline here. This guy that got arrested. Secret mutilator. This is some scary stuff. Straight up secret. But this, he posted this. I'm told this could be him or his girlfriend or somebody affiliated with him. Another one. Whoa. Ligua Azul from Guatemala. I don't know, man. Some crazy stuff. All right, so I'm going to put on. We're going to keep sharing more. We're not stopping. See a little normalcy there on that one. Oh, look. Whoa. It's the Blue Oyster Bar. Like, you ever watch Police Academy, the Blue Oyster Bar? Those dudes? The Blue Oyster Bar. Da, 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 da. Da, 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 da. Like the Village People. YMCA. People say YMCA. It's the Blue Oyster Bar. You remember the Blue Oyster Bar on Police Academy? And Proctor and the other guy, the guy that says, move it, move it, move it. They go in there and they get locked in. And these dudes are like, hey, nice outfit. Reminds me of being a sailor or something. I mean, that was crazy stuff. Remember the 80s, the Police Academy movie? And they get like trapped in the bar with the dudes in the sailor suits, in the suits, in the black outfits, in the leather. That's a funny movie. The Police Academies are pretty classic. Somebody said on the other one he follows me, and I think he does. I think he follows my account. Somebody said he follows me. I think he follows me. Which is very, I think he follows me. No, seriously, I think he follows me. Let me get that other, let me see. Let me just see something. Let me evaluate the situation. Hold on a second. Where's that other account? Or did I click on following him by accident? I have to see here. This is followers. No. I clicked on I'll follow him. I clicked on because I was scouring out this thing and I accidentally said so. I'm unfollowing. I thought he was following me. I was like, holy smokes, I'm being stalked. I'm being stalked by this guy. All right, so we're going to continue to see what's going on. We read his case. Now I want to get kind of like with the latest of what's going on while we're on. We'll see what's going on. Let me go over to Brian Enton because he's there to see if he got uncover something. He just says deputies are canvassing the neighborhood right now near Annie Guthrie's house. The 5 o'clock deadline happens in 5 minutes. Matter of fact, let's see what it's. A matter of fact, I'll do this. I'm going to get something real quick. We're going to do something here. We got the deadline. 5 p.m. Ransom deadline coming. 5 p.m. Ransom deadline coming. Live. I just want to see. I want to look around for a report. So I'm just going to leave this on. We're going to see what happens. Now, when I say 5 p.m., it's 5 p.m. Mountain Time out there. So it's 2 hours behind. So it's 7 o'clock. It's approaching. The deadline is in 4 minutes. It's 5 p.m. Mountain Time. Got 3 minutes left. Two minutes left. Hold on, folks. I got a live feed outside the home. I'm gonna put it up here. We're live outside the home. Thank you for tagging me. That tag that I got on. All right, so we are live outside. Thank you, SO on Twitter for tagging me to a live feed outside the home here. As the 5 p.m. deadline has now reached. It is 5 p.m., folks. It is 5 p.m. 5 p.m. deadline has passed. 5 p.m. ransom deadline passed. Let me see if there's actually some
Angela. Everyone welcome in Angela to the chat. Nick, shout out Nick. Do our live shot right here.
So I don't know where who's doing this feed, if he's like bootlegging it off somebody else or that's his own. But it's showing you the scene. So that guy right there, he's covered the Lori Vallow. What is his name? Justin, that reporter there from Arizona. He's like a true crime reporter. Isn't his name Justin? He covered like Lori Vallow case. The broadcast is waiting for a signal. There's also a second deadline. That is correct. It appears like the other deadline will be Monday. So that's a few days from now, folks. So I'm gonna wait. I'm gonna see Guthrie home. Let me see if I can find another actual feed. He'll probably come back here, hopefully. 5 p.m. ransom deadline has passed. Crazy, folks. Crazy. Ransom note. Arrested. Yeah, here he is. We're back. We got it. We got it. So I'm gonna put the thing on here. I'm gonna scour something. I'm just gonna put suspense music. See, people might think that ransom has been made or paid. Signal out there is horrible. Unless you have a live view. All right, so this is coming from 857 Tucson. We'll see what happens out of this. Maybe she pops up. Somebody paid a ransom. Nancy's house. All right, so this is a live look, kind of showing you what the media circus is. This is actually, I like this. I like this because this kind of gives us an assessment of what's going on, who's out there, what journalists are covering this story, who's popping up in front of the home, and all that. 5 p.m. Ransom deadline has just passed 7 minutes ago. Deadline. Nancy's house. Live. Oh, spelled it wrong. See? Who's that? There's people that have been coming around the house, spectators, people walking dogs, people walking, and all that.
We talked about this front thing right here. That's the doorbell, I think, and that's where they found the blood. Now, it could have been from a different incident. They never even said it, you know, how old the blood is, but they're waiting for testing to come back. So, wonder if she had, yeah, I mean, I thought that too. I mean, not even, you know, it's just a needle in a haystack right now, trying to find the next. It was extended to Monday. Yep. So we still need, you know, 100% confirmation that that's,
Thank you, William.
you know, really the fact that the ransom letter is real right now. Everybody is kind of going with it that it is. Hello. So, but as you can see, the cars go lining right up here. They go way up here.
This is good stuff.
And here it is.
Hey, Tombstone.
Hey, nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too.
Let me put this on mute. So
This is some good stuff. He's out there in front. We finally got a stream out there in front of the house. Dude, it's a media circus in front of Nancy's house. We're at Nancy's home. This is the crime scene. And people are out there because, you know, this is a huge case. Everyone wants to, you know, what's up with the ransom stuff. Everyone wants Nancy found. They want to know who did this, who's responsible. Well, this could be, at this point, this is turning into the biggest true crime case of the year. It really is. This is a crazy story. Crazy. Look at this. Dude, they're all camped out there. They could be out there for days. They could be out there for days. This could be like another Brian Laundrie type thing. They were out there for days. They were out there for 6 weeks. This is movie level. It literally is. We're on movie level here. This is turning into the twists and turns and the plot twist and the characters that are coming in. I mean, look at the person we just shared. This guy. Who knows who else is going to make their debut in this movie? Simulation. It's like real time. It's like we're living in like a, I don't know. I do miss being there. I actually want to go. I want to go. I'm itching. I'm telling you. It's just the logistic wise, it takes 10, 12 hours out of my time for all the travel and everything like that. But I think it's necessary. I think we can do things there. We could get some things, find some things out, and at least see what's up. I would plant a camera there. I'd plant cameras all over the place and just wait. And we just sit there and wait. And we'd be on FBI watch. I wouldn't be shocked if Kash Patel comes here. Someone, you know, the FBI director. All the way up to the top. $50,000 reward out now, folks.
I gotta walk around it.
He muted it because he's talking to some reporters.
hey, right there, shout out. There's Tim Stellar. Right there he is. The Stellar. Tim Stellar himself. Very nice.
This is 857 Tucson.
That's the first.
I ended up here this afternoon. I just
Look at the terrain. Is she out there in the woods there?
Welcome in, AZ Sun.
Who are these people?
Mohawk, I had a feeling.
Oh, so there's that little makeshift memorial on her mailbox.
Welcome in, Tim.
Oh, there's Brian Inton. There's Brian Inton. Right there. Boom, Brian Inton.
Great report, Pat.
What's that?
Great report.
Thank you.
Damien, 857 Tucson.
Yeah, how you doing?
Nice to meet you.
Good, nice to meet you.
There's Pat Parrish right there.
Dude, there's so many people out here. Like every national media journalist is out there. News Nation right there. Brian Inton. Enton's like, who are you filming me? Who are you, dude? Who are you filming me? Yeah. Neutral, you're trying to neutral's trying to everyone get towards airfare accommodations. I really want to go. I do, but I don't know. I don't know. Something tells me you're going to go out there and then it's going to get solved. But I should have been out there
You guys
yesterday.
are getting the backstage view of it. Welcome in, Nick, Cindy. Now, what I'm hoping is while I'm here, a piece of news is going to break. So I'm kind of, but it would be nice if it was
She's found.
different tips coming out, things like that.
Who's in their driveway?
Hey, nice meeting you. Is that Brian? Yeah, Brian Inton. That's who it is.
Who's in their driveway? Who's that?
That's who it is. I don't know what channel that's from, but yeah, that's Brian Inton. I think that's the one that Ashley Banfield's on. Maybe not. Yeah, okay.
Banfield? Banfield there?
It's a very heavily trafficked area right now.
Then go. Marty's like, then go.
Welcome in, Angie and Jenny. And Leah. We'll stay as long as the battery lasts here, guys. So thanks for hanging out. I'm just kind of checking the scene, you know, hoping while I'm here, something will break. But right now, it's literally just a waiting game for the family number one. And now
The deadline passed. So I'm trying to get some information on this deadline. Trying to find out, if she's been found, but
the
no
media
indication.
has a lot of them have flown out here from all over the country, LA. Welcome in, Tina and Kobe. Welcome in, Reba and Ashley. Yeah, the yellow tape, they were out here yesterday. They came out here for about, I would say, about 2 hours total. Maybe a little longer. They had about 20 FBI agents, including the sheriff, brought the dogs out, and they did leave with some items. One of them was described as an oversized, like a picture, like if you were to take like a picture out of the house. That's what I heard yesterday. All the blood samples that have been tested have come back that it is of Nancy's blood. And then he did say in the press conference today that they're waiting for more samples back, but we don't know what. From what they said, there was no break-in. So if you guys look at the timeline, let me know what your thoughts are as far as what are some things that maybe the investigators are looking through that maybe haven't been thought of. But we do have, I brought up today, I made a post about, you know, if they cleared one Uber driver, was there like how often did she use Uber? Did she use Uber? I mean, not obviously every day, but you know, how often? And so that's one question. Are they going to be interviewing other Uber drivers? Who else knew that she lived here? Was she targeted? Did they know her? Was it random? Was this an organization that was it multiple people? Look at the cute little doggy.
Dogs. Dogs out there.
Cute little doggy.
Yeah, so get that.
See, so is everyone there expecting something? Yeah, I mean, it's normally in cases something really does break. Sorry, I'm not talking. We're just kind of checking out the scene right now. Everybody's doing their live shot, so I don't want to be too loud. Hey, buddy, what station you from? Oh, okay. How you liking this weather?
I'm from Phoenix, so
So you're
I can be there by noon tomorrow. What do you think? I can be there by noon tomorrow. I can be there by noon tomorrow. What do you think? Think we should go? Should we go and see what's up? But what happens if it gets solved by then? What do you think? I could be there by noon tomorrow. What do you think? Bright and early, noon tomorrow. Yes, no. People are like, no, yeah, no, yeah, go, yeah. So maybe I'll put a poll, but I have the option right here. People are like, I wouldn't go. Yeah, definitely go. Maybe there tomorrow at noon. Yes, no, yeah, no, yes. We don't know if the cell phone reception works in that particular area. I mean, it looks okay. Find out what happened. What's going on? Who's involved? Tucson. We can do some border stuff while I'm out there too. Border stuff. Southern border. Need to think. I'm gonna turn the volume back up. Holy smokes. Go. Grok, y'all are putting pressure on me. Want to go see? Should we go see? Wait for the arrest. Might be days. Could be hours. Could be tomorrow morning. Maybe. What do you think? It's like a 6-hour drive. Or it's like a, let me see. So the flight would be total flight as far as it'd be morning to about noon. So total almost 7 hours. Family releases second video. We have another video. People are like, no, don't go. I mean, I could keep covering it like how we do it with the command center. I mean, either or.
Wow, I never even seen that. There's like hearts blowing up on the screen. I didn't know Facebook did that. That's cool. Thank you. Appreciate that.
I mean, sometimes we're more effectively at the command center because we got access to all these different feeds, and
the media's clear now. They're clearing out. Yeah, Jenny, I do have a portable charger, but it gets dark here about 6, and there's not going to be too much really happening after that. I'm not saying there's much happening now, but and thank you again for those stars. Yeah, that's the thing, is we're all waiting for the next lead. The next lead. Today with the report coming out with the thank you for the star. Today with the FBI special report or press conference with Pima County Sheriff. Thank you for the hearts. There was no new information that was established today, so that's what's just, everybody's just kind of sitting on pins and needles.
There is a report. There is a report that FBI agents were at a shopping plaza. Bunch of unmarked FBI agents were at the La Encada, ENCATADA shopping center, less than 1 mile from Nancy Guthrie's home in Tucson. So FBI agents were at this shopping center. Interesting. A bunch of unmarked law enforcement vehicles. Now it could be a staging ground or whatnot. Could be a staging ground.
Okay. She said she has some information.
That's somebody, security or somebody at their home. That's like a security agent. Lalo, thank you. Thank you.
All right, we got it.
Man.
We got to keep it down.
No, I wouldn't yell nothing at. I wouldn't yell
She
enough.
said she has some news she wants to share.
Huh?
She asked to speak to the detective on scene.
Oh.
I guess she's a neighbor. She said she lives behind her.
Oh, a neighbor.
Don't show her. Okay.
So what he's saying is a neighbor's now talking to detectives saying she got some information, a neighbor that lives behind Nancy Guthrie. That's what he's saying. And she wants to speak to detectives.
I don't know their solve rate on missing people. But
The neighbor.
Hey guys,
this isn't Tucson PD. This is Pima County Sheriff, actually. The Pima County Sheriff is actually in charge of this case locally.
hey guys.
Welcome in, Margie and Cindy. Now this is what we're breaking right now. The neighbor just came over right here. I won't show her, I guess, but whatever, we're out here in the public. Loretta Adams, welcome in. So basically the neighbor said she wanted to share some information with the people. Patricia Wu, yeah, I spent about 3 weeks on that case looking for that. Looking for her, and they never found her. That was Pima County Sheriff as well. Today is day 5 that she's been missing. How long have you lived here?
I'm a neighbor. Just right around the corner. Oh, I can't tell you. Yeah. Yeah. That's something I noticed. When I'm not going to say anything. Yeah, I just came for a walk and I had noticed something earlier today, and I said I gotta come down here and see if there are any detectives here, but I don't know what to say.
Are you concerned about obviously Nancy's life?
Yeah, of course. Of course. You know, she's a neighbor. I've met her multiple times. And she's an older woman, and so it's important to be concerned about neighbors who are maybe more vulnerable. So, as somebody who lives in the neighborhood, I try to notice things.
Are you surprised that we're entering the 6th day of this search and still no suspect?
I can't say I'm surprised because I haven't had experience with this before. I'm just sad. I'm sad.
What was Nancy like?
I didn't know her well. I just knew her to say hello, and I had been to her house before, just about a year and a half ago. And that's a very sweet woman, very nice, welcomed me right into her home. I'm on the neighborhood association board, so I introduced myself and told her why I was here, and that was it. And we chatted for a bit.
Are you worried for your own safety because you don't know what happened to her?
Not really, not too much. I mean, I think most people are a little bit at this point, a little concerned. But I'm not overly concerned. But this is a very, very safe neighborhood. Generally, it's a very beautiful neighborhood, and I think most people haven't been overly concerned. I also have dogs. So
What do you make of the fact that there are ransom notes being issued, family are making public statements?
well, I don't have experience with this, so that seems like it would be normal course of events. That I don't know anything, and I don't know anything beyond something that would be considered a tip that I just gave to him. Something I noticed, and that's pretty much it. And I'm just here as a neighbor walking around the neighborhood. I did a search of my property, which is directly back behind hers on the other adjacent road, and that's it.
And did you notice that?
I'm just on the board. I'm on the board.
Is there any guidance that the association has given to neighbors about security or increased measures being taken?
I don't believe we have anything like that yet, but our board monthly meetings next week. And we have a person on our board who is addressing any immediate inquiries on behalf of the board. And our website for the Catalina Foothills Association, which is the neighborhood of about 1,600 homes, is cfattucson.org. That's cfattucson.org. And if you have any questions about the neighborhood response, like officials in the association.
Did you notice anything disturbing before Nancy disappeared? Did you notice anyone in the area that you were worried about?
No, but I would say that it would be not unlike most of us to ask people if we saw something. And I have, because I've seen the trailer go up to somebody's house and I couldn't tell what was going on. I've asked.
Do you know if there's any cameras on Campbell that you're aware of?
Well, my immediate thought was to, in my head, because I came over Sunday night, as soon as I realized what was going on, I didn't know. And I immediately went to where are the entrances and exits in the neighborhood.
Right.
And most of the entrances and exits to the neighborhood have lights. They have street lights. And they probably have cameras. Well, I don't know if they're active because, we're not ticketing. I don't think the county, we're in county property for residents who don't live here. This is county property. It's technically, we have Tucson address, but it is considered unincorporated Peanut County. And I believe most of the streetlights, if you look, probably have cameras, but I don't know, maybe license plate readers.
But the intersection probably does.
Know.
Yeah.
I don't know, but you can look because, we've got entrances and exits, in Prada, Orange Grove.
Yeah.
Zarella, La Brinca, Orange Grove up at Rhino. So those are all the places that I'm sure that they're looking and checking for anything.
What do you move in the area, either through the association or just personally? What kind of concerns have they vocalized about their own safety and security since the disappearance of Nancy Guthrie?
Well, I do know that there's some people looking at their own security. If they have them, they're maybe they're enhancing them. I do know that some are now installing.
Have you been asked by detectives to check your own cameras?
Yes, I've had 2 sets of detectives, sheriffs, actually deputies come by my house to check. I asked to check my cameras, which I did on Monday. Actually, I did Sunday night, but honestly, mine are more wildlife cameras. So I saw a lot of bunnies and some coyotes. But that was about it.
Can you speak to the dark sky ordinance that this area falls under?
This is Cameron Guthrie. I'm speaking for the Guthrie family. Whoever is out there holding our mother, we want to hear from you. We haven't heard anything directly. We need you to reach out and we need a way to communicate with you so we can move forward. But first, we have to know that you have our mom. We want to talk to you and we are waiting for contact.
Whoa. So Cameron now spoke on behalf of the family and just put out a statement on. It's short, but he's speaking. I'll play it again. This is a new statement. A lot of people in the chat say, play the statement. Here we are. Here we are. You want proof of life?
This is Cameron Guthrie. I'm speaking for the Guthrie family. Whoever is out there holding our mother, we want to hear from you. We haven't heard anything directly. We need you to reach out and we need a way to communicate with you so we can move forward. But first, we have to know that you have our mom. We want to talk to you and we are waiting for contact.
This is getting crazy. Any fine? Whew. She's still out there, a neighbor.
Research.
What's your name?
Laura Gargano.
How do you spell it?
Gargano.
And Laura usually
Yes.
writes.
Can answer one question? I know it's a weird question from the gaggle, but can you talk about a little bit what it's been like both for the police sector, but also us? What's been like kind of an effect on the community?
Well, I was talking with my neighbor yesterday, and so she said, front row seats to the wall. I can't speak for everybody else. I personally don't mind it. I don't live on the street. I live on that street. But I think it's important to keep, immediate attention on what's going on. But I'm sure it's just the individual people have their personal opinions about, media coverage and policy.
What's the title of this?
More or less community engagement in neighborhood openness.
Just with this video set, you were coming back talking to people. Can you tell us why?
No. I had some kind of something I saw and I wanted to talk to somebody about it. And I figured I might find some detectives or because usually I do.
But you're being a good example of they're saying if you see, hear, think of anything, you should come forward. Is that your encouragement to others?
Yeah, and I have had neighbors out like myself with binoculars out into our lots. We've got a lot of lots. We've got dips. We've got and do something with it if it's not something that you usually see in your yard.
Can you speak to the animal activity in the area?
We have coyotes, and you don't live there here? Okay. So we have coyotes, we have bobcats, we have bunnies, we have javelina. I'm surprised you haven't seen it right here. It's very common to see all of those things. Packs of javelinas and coyotes, usually at dusk and dawn. You see them around here. And we're used to it. Most people like living among the animals, so we don't really worry about it too much.
Forgive me.
Mainly making sure you don't leave your small dogs and cats outside.
Forgive me
So,
if this has already been asked, just for myself, I suppose, but do you know of any other neighbors with anything that they can share, or do you know?
you know
if
what,
there's
you
anyone?
would have to ask people individually. I've actually forwarded to a few neighbors that I don't want to invade people's. I don't know how many people have been going to door, and I don't want to be forwarding people to neighbors.
What did you think of the press conference with the sheriff and the FBI today? Did you anything come to mind when you saw that?
No, I mean, I'm glad that the FBI spoke. It was about what I expected. You can only say what you can say.
Yeah. No new tips.
To compromise the investigation. I think we all just wish that it had progressed and there's something positive to report.
Or what's the last 5 days been like for you with all of
I think everybody feels the and I've just been very alarmed over not for my safety, to be honest. It's for Nancy. Pretty good for last night. I'm just going in there to what happened that night. I can really speak from the perspective of the people I've spoken with who know him for a long time, very proud. And he's just been a beloved member. He's been a beloved member of the community, and we have adjacent to neighborhood lives and so you know that we have good relationships with some of the neighbors. I'm always good to new compared to other people.
Have you had any criminal incidents ever since you've lived here? Major things or break-ins in the last couple of years?
She apparently went to police with some new information.
And not that I can, there was something here that it's third hand decades ago.
Yeah.
Consecutive more of a violent crime decades ago, so I can't speak to that. But I just know because I knew the person who bought that house. You'd have to research that. But other than that, no. I mean, there might be some. You don't, this is not the neighborhood. If you see somebody walking down the street, you know that person is not a person who lives here.
Right.
Because you've never seen them before.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and this is up in the hills, so I know we have, you know, an unhoused population, and people worry about that sometimes. But again, we're up in the hills, so I'm gonna
Just for the record, first last name, how you spell it?
All right, guys. All right, guys, we wrapped it up. We actually got a piece of which I was not expecting to get. But a neighbor came over. She lives behind Nancy, and she had some information to share. Now, we don't know what that information is, but she shared some new information with the FBI. She said she did some exploring on her inner yard, and that led her to call.
So glad.
So she was she lived behind the house, and my battery is gonna be crashing, and the lights are gonna be low here. So we'll go. I do have another phone, so if I sign off, I will be back.
So this is 857 Tucson out there in the field. And I will say that some of these media journalists are saying that there's a lot of action. What some of the media journalists are saying, there's cars parked at Nancy's home. Authorities are going door to door. And there's FBI up at the nearest shopping plaza 1 mile away right now. A convoy of FBI agents and unmarked cars at a shopping plaza about a mile away. So there's definitely a lot of activity. Michael Ruiz puts out, earlier this afternoon, investigators were seen door knocking in Annie Guthrie's neighborhood. Annie Guthrie's neighborhood. Now, I'm going to put this up here. That's interesting. Whoa. Why would they go door to door in Annie Guthrie's neighborhood? Why would they go door to door in Annie? Why would authorities go door to door in Annie Guthrie's neighborhood? That's what the report is. Here, I'm going to show it to you right now. That is why would the authorities go? Why would they want to go in Annie Guthrie's neighborhood door to door? This is coming from Michael Ruiz right here. Fox News. He's always boots on the ground. He's saying earlier today, authorities going door to door in Annie Guthrie's neighborhood. Camera footage. Folks, the kidnapping happened at Nancy Guthrie's. Why would authorities go door to door in Annie Guthrie's neighborhood? Dun, dun, dun. You know why? Camera footage to see cars going in and out around Annie Guthrie's home. Tommaso. She lives like 10 minutes away. It's not close. It takes a while to get there. She lives about 10 minutes away. But why in the heck would agents be going door to door in Annie Guthrie's neighborhood? You know why? Because they're trying to track people's movement going in and out of that house. I think they know what they're looking for and who they have as a possible suspect here, folks, when they're going door to door in Annie Guthrie's neighborhood. They're not selling Girl Scout cookies. They're not knocking on people's door for their help. Ring cameras, witnesses. Have you seen a particular car going past locations at a particular time? Let's say, for instance, 2:30 a.m. 2:30 a.m. or something like that, or afterward, right? And Guthrie and Tommaso. And I'll share it again one more time. Agents going around their neighborhood. Maybe the neighbors could have done it. But when they go door to door like that, hello, this is Special Agent so-and-so. Do you have any ring camera footage? Some people are saying, well, maybe the neighbors did. Look at the dog. Look at the dog in the window. They're looking for cameras. It's exactly what they do. We know the drill. They're looking for cameras. They're looking for cameras. They're looking for cameras, folks. We know the drill. Live back out in front of the home of Nancy.
Welcome back, everybody. Day 5. Waiting for hopefully a break in the case. We are back in front of the house. Seems like more media is showing up. The roads are packed, loaded with people. It's a traffic jam in the middle of the desert over here. But we are checking the scene. Looks like everybody's getting ready to do their live shots here. Well, if you guys are able to do a Google search and watch the press conference that was held today by the Pima County Sheriff and FBI, just kind of letting know where they're at in the case. There's been no really new big leads. They haven't confirmed if the ransom note is a hoax or if it is real. It seems like it's real. They after Savannah Guthrie's report yesterday, or speech she made on Instagram, she did say, you know, she needs proof of life, and so everybody's still holding hope. Let me know where you're signing in from. Welcome to the chat, Mike, Celine. But we'll do a little walk around so you guys can see. Oh wow, here comes a big old trash truck. It's gonna be interesting. Wow. Everybody's got their different spots. See, this should be the trash man trying to get in here. Trash man trying to get with the media. This should be an interesting if it does the service goes in and out, just let me know. It'll come back in. Thanks for hitting the like. Welcome in, Tina. Hit that like button, share it out so people can see the scene here. This is kind of how the layout is of the houses. Everybody has kind of their own, I would say 2 to 3 acres. I heard her lot was a 3-acre lot. So we'll turn that around. You can see right here, that's her house. That's a 3-acre lot. And so we go over here, and this house is kind of like right here. That's another 3-acre lot. So I believe there's 3-acre lots. So nobody can really hear anything between the houses. The deadline, it did say 5 p.m. Obviously, they did send if the ransom note, I mean, is not confirmed. If that was truth and they sent it to people in the Western United States, then yeah, 5 o'clock is almost the deadline. But they gave 2 deadlines. And so the second deadline was basically Monday, I believe. So we'll do a little walk around. So here's another house, and this one's kind of tucked away. So there's good distance between each house that if you you can play the music pretty loud and your neighbors don't hear you. So that's the walk. I mean, a lot of people, the different media, these guys have the set. So now we'll walk down kind of near the house. So she lives right on the T, and there's this kind of more of the main road versus the one we were just on. Lots of media. I mean, there's got to be, I know that guy's Justin Lum from Channel 15. I used to see him up in Phoenix. So we'll kind of see who's got the shot where.
Dude, there's law enforcement everywhere. There's law enforcement. There's reports coming out. Law enforcement are going doors around this neighborhood. They're going around doors in Annie and Tommaso's neighborhood. Agents are staked out, and I believe they're at the shopping plaza, which is a mile away. I'm going to find the actual location. I believe they're trying to get surveillance cameras, or they could be using that as a law enforcement staging ground. Heavy law enforcement presence. They're all over the place. They're inundated in this area. Dude, they're going to solve this. I think they're going to solve this soon. I mean, they're literally everywhere right now. Dude, there's law enforcement at the house here. They're everywhere right now. Literally. We got this deadline that just passed. We got a lot of things going on, folks. We got a lot of things going on. For real. Whoa. This is nuts. They're really gung-ho. Like, they're like, there's videos literally that they're in the neighborhood right now of or earlier of Annie and Tommaso, law enforcement. And I just think about this though. And they admit that they seized the video, the vehicle of Annie and Tommaso. They seized the vehicle of them. They're in their neighborhood. Why the heck would they seize their vehicle and be going around in their neighborhood when the crime happened here? Why? It just
did kind of look down in there, but who knows? I'm sure they've checked for cameras, so. But, you know, it is a pretty good distance apart. Turn this up here. Welcome in, Maria and Rachel. So this house right here is, if they're pretty good distance apart, they won't hear anything. And these walls are, well-made custom homes, so this isn't. So here we are. We'll walk up to. Yeah, the crime, no more crime tape. They opened it up back to the family, but this house is protected 24/7 with security because of everything going on with the media. They have actually said it where they are not going to obviously want people to go on there. So they have 2 people. I'll go show you. Seems like family members or if it goes in and out, it's because the service does go kind of shady around here. So yeah, lots of looky-loos. But welcome in, Jim. Welcome in, Jim. That's what's a good question about the dog is everybody says she had a dog. So why don't you see if anyone has any? I haven't heard anything about the dog. And that's one of those poodle dogs. A black poodle dog. It was pictured. I have not seen or seen any reports about what happened to the dog. Welcome in, Steph and Colleen. Yeah, if you guys look on my page, I posted the timeline of exactly, when everything went down. And the current timeline, I don't have the exact time, so I don't want to quote it wrong, but, her pacemaker did shut off shortly after the camera was stolen. So right in that time frame. So to me, the way that it would work is the camera would get taken off the pacemaker.
I'll tell you something crazy. Right now. The Pima County Sheriffs just responded to me because I sent them something. I sent them something about someone, and they want to know information about somebody. So this is interesting. The Pima County Sheriffs literally just responded to me from something I sent them earlier today because there's a couple people that piqued my interest, and they responded back to me. They want to know more about this person. Interesting, but they could be doing their due diligence too, because they're saying anyone, but interesting.
She saw her with a little dog, so I figured it was the black dog, but I don't know if there's another dog that might be. But as you can see, it's an interesting setup. Everybody's doing their show. Got K-Gun 9. I think I've seen K-Gun 9. See which other ones are here.
So this is live. This is coming from 857 Tucson, who's out in the field. He's kind of just showing you perspective of what's going on, right? You putting it up, but the sun goes down at 6 o'clock, around 6 o'clock there. So it's going to get dark very, very soon. Once it gets dark, it is pitch black out there. But I can, I'm looking at these different reports coming out, like different like journalists that are out there in the field tweeting out, and there's lots of activity going on. The thing about it is there's a massive law enforcement open presence doing this case right now. They're openly out there. I can see it. They're probably in the neighborhoods here, but there's police there. Big media. This is just the whole world is watching right now, literally.
But I wonder how long. Now, here's a question: is how long do you think the media can hold out with no new information? If there's no new information, how long could the media hold out in camping out on some random street here in Tucson or Valley? So that's a kind of an unknown question. Is the media for this story, if she's not found, are they? I mean, let me know what your thoughts are. You think they're going to be here throughout the weekend?
The Fox News reporter just put out, again, kind of what we were seeing in real time. A neighbor whose backyard touches Nancy Guthrie's backyard just told reporters outside the home that she came to try and report a tip to detectives. She would not elaborate, but said she saw something and wanted to report it. That's interesting. So a neighbor is now claiming in back of the home of Nancy that waters her property that she saw something. She's trying to report it to law enforcement. That was the woman that we were watching earlier. Now, I don't know, if it's something to something or not, nothing of nothing. Some people have a lot of opinions about, her take on her. We were kind of like watching, listening to her, but that seems like that's a situation going on.
ABC. I didn't see, let's see, what'd you guys say here? Yeah, the street, the way this house is it's pretty close to the street versus some of the houses are farther away, but it's just really no telling as far as who it could be, because there's absolutely no suspects. Usually there's some sort of surveillance footage. Where right here where Campbell is, we have all these cameras at intersections. Are they reviewing the intersection cameras there at Campbell and Skyline? So those are the differences with this case is obviously it's 84 years old, celebrity's mother, but there's the media, the public, the family, number one, is all just waiting for some sort of piece of information. And so, I mean, you heard the FBI calling to whoever has this woman, Nancy, to release her. And so that's kind of where, if they think that it's a ransom, then there is hope. And that's the difference with some of the cases, and people are going, well, why is this getting so much attention? And, well, number one, it is a celebrity's daughter, but the mysteriousness of her just disappearing. They don't even say it was a robbery. Okay. So could this be tied? I mean, everybody's coming up with different theories all the way. So, but if you guys want to let me know after hearing the FBI, Sheriff Nanos, what do you guys honestly think? Put it in the chat as the top possibility. Is this a organized operation with organized multiple people? Is this and we're just speculating. This is just based on opinion. We're trying to help bring tips forward. Maybe someone will come up with something that can actually break the case. But let me know in the chat. We got the literal, man. I think that guy is coming here, and that's, oh man. I think that comes to clean the cesspools. Oh.
Well, check the cesspool.
Bad timing. Welcome in, Libby. But yeah, let me know what your guys' thoughts are. If you think this is an organized op, I mean, it's just speculation. But right now, that's all we have. We have hope. Welcome in, Tina. Yeah, I know everybody's been talking about it for so long that, and everybody's, you know, we're just all left kind of like, you know, and the more time that goes in the health is a big factor. But the main question is how long can the media, you know, I mean, the family, Tucson's not going to give up. You know, we're gonna not stop until we find Nancy, obviously. But how long can the national media keep up with the story? With when there's nothing happening, it's really just a mystery. Yeah, with their outer medication. Just, yeah, so many unanswered questions. Welcome in, Patty and Ramona. So this is the front of the house for any new people. A little recap of what happened today is the FBI and the Pima County Sheriff, Nanos, had a press conference. They did rule out the Uber driver who brought her to dinner. They, you know, and I put up the timeline. I don't have the timeline in my head, but if you want to go to my page, no, we don't. This house doesn't have. It's a flat roof, no attic, no basement. Welcome in, Richard, Stacy. So, no new big tips that came out today. But after last night watching the statement from Savannah, it really changed the perspective of this really could be a ransom. I mean, they actually wanted the people to send proof of life. And so if they didn't believe that it was true, I mean, I'm speculating, then we would have not heard them say that in part of the letter. But if you guys watch that, it's just really heartbreaking. And all three siblings. See if I can zoom in. Yeah, there's people that are saying, you know, the Clinton thing, and it's just a lot of that's conspiracy theory. I get it. I get where people bring it up because it's an important to just talk about stuff. But I don't think that actually has been even brought up like from the investigator. So it's really hard to bring it up. Yeah, this neighborhood, Libby says it's crazy. I would have never thought something like this would have happened. But look at that. She's got, you know, pretty flowers in the window.
Oh, whoa, she got flowers in the window.
Hey, welcome in, Jim.
She got flowers in the window.
Welcome in, Jim.
That's crazy. And the Ring camera. See the Ring camera?
And Danny.
Oh,
Welcome in, Danny. So yeah, here we go. We do have a lot of the media getting ready to do their. Oh, he's got some crazy looking lights. Those lights on that car. All right. We'll keep moving here. Oh, she's got her teleprompter right there. Yeah, it really is such a sad situation. And then what's even sadder is there's no leads that have brought anything to give the investigators a clue of like here's a surveillance photo or something like that. You know, all it's been is essentially she was kidnapped. You know, if they didn't even say that it was a robbery, meaning was there any jewelry missing? You know, nothing's been reported. Was there any jewelry missing? I have not been to Annie's house at all, actually. I've been kind of wanting to give the family privacy. So I have not been to Annie's. Yeah, it is. It's beautiful, and these houses are laid out. I mean, they're each one, I believe, has 3 acres. So.
Have a great day.
Is that Annie's dog?
Oh, a dog.
Yeah, I believe it's 3 acres. So like I said, they do have security now watching out, so nobody goes with the amount of people. You know, for all the new people who haven't seen the sign, here is the sign that was put up by the neighbors. Welcome in, Libby. Yeah, they are. And the weather out today is just perfect. I mean, no, they didn't say anything was taken from the home. They didn't say anything was taken from home. Yesterday, when the investigators came, they did come in with gloves into the garage. Now I'll kind of lay it out here for you. So right up here, you drive up and go into the garage. So that's when they were saying where she put in the code is where normally if you come to this house and you live here, you wouldn't go to the front door. You go to the garage, right? That's how most people enter your house. When you go to the front door is like a formal entry. So what they're thinking is, and here's the people coming through, doing their neighbors trying to do their walk.
For Team 1 for level 1 with weapons at Park and Hollow. The calling party is reporting there's a male with a hammer swinging it around. There's another male was on the floor next to that male with a hammer.
There's a fight here in Tucson. 2 people with hammers fighting. Let's go meet Pat Harris.
The complainant does not know for sure whether or not the suspect with the hammer used it tonight.
What time we got?
Deadline is passed. I'm trying to find out if there's any actual reports about you know, this ransom, this thing. I muted it down. So this is 847 Tucson out on the streets there. You can just tell there's just a massive you know, like it's media. It's a media circus here. They got their cameras planted and everything like that. I don't know how long they're going to be there. This could be to, you know, she is found safe, dead or alive, found, resolved the situation. Everyone wants answers. I guess they're just waiting for that next nugget to be released. So there's a shopping plaza. Let me just get this up in the tweet here. I want to get this up. I want to show you something because I found this interesting. Right near the Guthrie home, there is a massive law enforcement in the lot in Catalina shopping center. If I'm butchering that name, I apologize. But there is lots of law enforcement, and that shopping center is in one of those spots for strategic locations that would have to have some sort of surveillance of the getaway vehicle, because in order to get out of this neighborhood in any direction, you're going past traffic lights. You're going past traffic lights. Let me just put this up. Sorry, I'm going to put this. I'm just going to put this back up. I'm going to put this back up for a minute. But I want to get something here, so stand by. I want to show you just the law enforcement presence. And here we go, right here. So we got massive law enforcement. What are they going to find? They going, is that their staging ground, or is that they're actually going over there trying to get the surveillances and everything? Or did somebody with this crime go to that shopping center at some point? It is interesting. I think it might be more of a staging ground, but maybe they are. I don't know. It's right around the corner from Nancy's home. But it just shows you the level of law enforcement out here. It's all hands on deck. This is a massive police response to a situation right now. The federal government is there. Everything is a full arsenal, from Border Patrol troops and agents to FBI agents and the teams to extract digital evidence. FBI cast is there. Pima County sheriffs obviously are there, and who knows who else is there? Who else? Who else is there? I mean, but it's a lot. It's a lot.
The public can only, I mean, it's just heartbreaking. 84 years old, obviously, you know. And at some point, something has to, we have to get a clue, a tip, some sort of something. So that's why I was hoping that they would find something on the surveillance cameras from the city. But here in Tucson, it doesn't seem like there's a lot of cameras out this direction. I know in Tucson, they have them on all major. So I don't know how deep the FBI is actually looking into, you know, different data that they can go to and pull up different license plates from whoever was around this area between, let's say, whatever that timeline comes. I think he said 1:48 a.m. was when her surveillance camera picked up the first motion. So if they did a tracking for 5 hours around that time in this area of all the cameras owned by the Pima County and the city, what it would take a while. So I mean, how, but like if you're looking for a lead, how far will they go? And that's the thing with a lot of these missing cases reports is I did Patricia Wu's case, and after about a week and no new clues came out, Patricia Wu. If you look her up, it's Patricia, and then the last name is spelled Wu, W-O-O. Eventually, the sheriff had to stop looking because they don't have the resources to go on weeks and weeks. So time is at an essence to keep this out in the public right now, because in a couple of days, the resources aren't going to be here. And so as much as people are kind of fatigued from the same news with no new breaks, eventually it's going to be away, and hopefully it'll be a story where, you know, we get a lead today, tomorrow, but going on day 5 and there hasn't been anything new. We need, you know, that would lead us to, okay, it's this, but they don't even, I mean, nobody even knows if this is just some isolated incident, individual, or was this, some people suggested multiple people. Let me know in the comments what you guys think. But right now we are trying.
I'm gonna play again for people that are coming into the chat. I'm gonna play the
This is Cameron Guthrie. I'm speaking for the Guthrie family. Whoever is out there holding our mother, we want to hear from you. We haven't heard anything directly. We need you to reach out, and we need a way to communicate with you so we can move forward. But first, we have to know that you have our mom. We want to talk to you, and we are waiting for contact.
that has just been put out about an hour ago. We'll play it one more time. I know he's reading from a piece of paper, but he's speaking on behalf of everyone now, and they want proof of life. They want proof of life. This is crazy. And people are saying it's scripted, but yeah, there's probably something he was told to say, how he say it here, you know? It's crazy.
This is Cameron Guthrie. I'm speaking for the Guthrie family. Whoever is out there holding our mother, we want to hear from you. We haven't heard anything directly. We need you to reach out, and we need a way to communicate with you so we can move forward. But first, we have to know that you have our mom. We want to talk to you, and we are waiting for contact.
So what's your take on all that? It's crazy because they put this out pretty much after the deadline passed, the 5 p.m., the first deadline. There's two deadlines. There's a deadline now on Monday, but one of the Ransom said a 5 p.m. deadline. So it came out around the time of the deadline. And there you go. They want to communicate with the abductor or abductors, the people that have Nancy or the person. And, you know, he's reading from a paper. And there you go. I mean, this is crazy. Woo. Yeah, reminds me like a Taken. We'll put back this up. Who's this? Another neighbor? Nah.
Good. Change the address on the call at 1940 North 1st, or 107A.
Welcome to anybody new here. So as you can see, the street is basically goes down there, and you can take a right here, and that's one way to exit. And so whoever left from her house, you either go down this road right here, or you go up here. Oops. Yeah, it's just loaded with cars. Media. So yeah, that's what's is like how long can the media hold up with no new leads? So I'm thinking they'll stay here through the weekend, and let's hope we get a lead before then. But think right there, I can't remember what channel he's on. I'm not good with that. But
This is Cameron Guthrie. I'm speaking for the Guthrie family. Whoever is out there holding our mother, we want to hear from you. We haven't heard anything directly. We need you to reach out, and we need a way to communicate with you so we can move forward.
Good strategy. Think that's a good strategy? Do you think the Ransom people will bite on this? Yay or nay? I believe the Ransom thing is all an act to keep the son-in-law believing he's not a suspect. Let's do this, please, says. So this, let's do this, please. You think suspect? They are, and you know, his the other feed went away, by the way. I don't know what happened. I think I moved it back or something, but it was gone when I came. So I think he bounced. And we're talking about 847 Tucson, but I'm going to be monitoring that. But if the question is this all a ransom act to, you know, flush out somebody else, flush out the person they think who's responsible? Is he involved? Man, I'll tell you what, the media outlets put paparazzi photos of him today, ducking behind a vehicle. He's seen, but he's acting very suspiciously. I'm not saying he's a suspect. I don't know. I don't know. That's what I always ask what, but I mean, he's the last person to see. But then he's also a victim, like the shit, kind of like what the sheriff said. And he's a victim today from this guy, because this guy right here sent him the Bitcoin demand. It's wild. You could be a victim and a suspect at the same time, too. I don't know. It's highly strange and bizarre. Let me see what else is brewing here. Stay with me here. So LE out there, out and about. We have numerous law enforcement in different areas, not just out and about, but different areas. Let me see if there's any new reports that I can share, but we can also come back if something else breaks. We could come back and see what's going on. There was a ransom in JonBenet Ramsey. 1996, JonBenet Ramsey. I actually went to the Ramsey house before. Nice neighborhood. Did a video there. How much was the ransom for Ramsey? Was there a ransom with Elizabeth Smart? I've been watching. You know, some of these cases are so far back, and there's been so many. You know, don't know all the details. But I saw Ed Smart, I guess Elizabeth Smart's dad. He'd been making some of the media rounds lately, kind of touching on this. You know, Elizabeth Smart, you know, Brian David Mitchell and that wackadoodle woman, right? Brian David Mitchell and the other woman, Wanda, whatever. Took her out a window. You know, she was found months later. I don't know. I don't know, folks. 180,000. How much says 180K? So in this particular case, someone is demanding millions in Bitcoin. I want Bitcoin. Lots and lots of Bitcoin. There's a way to trace that. If they can trace this guy back on his VoIP, then they can find out anybody's Bitcoin. I don't think there's anything that's fully untraceable. A lot of people use VPNs and all that, but I don't think anything is. There's ways to get around it. Back in the day, people used to do ANI spoofing and stuff like that, but they'll still, optiverting calls and stuff like that, or swatting, where they use like different methods and SWAT agencies and stuff, and they still track them down. They'll still track them down. The thing about it is they want this demand here, and I'll play again.
But first, we have to know that you have our mom. This is Cameron Guthrie. I'm speaking for the Guthrie family. Whoever is out there holding our mother, we want to hear from you. We haven't heard anything directly. We need you to reach out, and we need a way to communicate with you so we can move forward. But first, we have to know that you have our mom. We want to talk to you, and we are waiting for contact.
Trying to gaslight the person, because any response, digital, letter, I don't know how other way they could get a hold of them or her, or whoever did this, but there's all ways you could find the person, digital, IP, and everything like that. They would use the FBI's most sophisticated tracking stuff. If the legitimate kidnapper, if this is a legitimate kidnapper out there that's doing ransom, and this is a ransom, and the ransom stuff is legit, if this ransom person sends them any communication, this ransom person's cooked. What do you think? Well, I don't know if we should be saying that, because the ransom person might be watching and be like, matter of fact, I'm not going to be they're going to be cooked. They're going to be cooked if they respond to them directly. And then not only that, but then we're going to be talking about oh my goodness, would this be crazy if there's some video released tomorrow to the public of Nancy, like this whoever did it, like tied up in a chair in a room, some room or something, and she's like, if whoever did the psychopath releases some video with her in a chair or something, you know what I'm saying? That would be crazy. But if anything gets released on proof of life on Nancy, FBI will be evaluating that video to a T, find out the rooms, the wallpaper, any little clue whatsoever to indicate what type of house it is, location it is, everything. But I don't know. We're watching a movie in real time. A crazy movie in real time. It's real. It's real lives. Is it? I think it is. But this is I've never seen anything like this.
This is Cameron Guthrie. I'm speaking for the Guthrie family. Whoever is out there holding our mother, we want to hear from you. We haven't heard anything directly. We need you to reach out, and we need a way to communicate with you so we can move forward. But first, we have to know that you have our mom. We want to talk to you, and we are waiting for contact.
Phew. JLR, confirmation. What kind of confirmation you got? What do we got? We got anything? Something? Proof of life? We got proof of life? It's scour stuff. I'm going to put this up here, and I'm not going to end the stream yet. I just want to see what's brewing. But I'm just going to suspense music. I want to see something.
Fox News alert, major developments in the mysterious disappearance of Savannah Guthrie's mother. The FBI is deploying task force specialists all across Arizona. A reward of $50,000 has been set for tips that lead to Nancy Guthrie's location. At this hour, the Guthrie family's waiting for proof of life. And Savannah's brother, Cameron, just released this video. Watch.
This is Cameron Guthrie. I'm speaking for the Guthrie family. Whoever is out there holding our mother, we want to hear from you. We haven't heard anything directly. We need you to reach out, and we need a way to communicate with you so we can move forward. But first, we have to know that you have our mom. We want to talk to you, and we are waiting for contact.
And in terms of suspects, the sheriff hasn't ruled anyone out.
And I want to be very clear. At this time, we have not identified a suspect or a person of interest in this case. We are working our best to do that. But to be clear, we have nobody of interest or any suspects that you would consider a prime suspect. We're just not there. We're not there yet.
Tonight, there's some new details. On the alleged ransom note, it includes deadlines, and one of the clocks just ran out.
I think we start to look at what the deadlines were in the note. First, I think was 5 o'clock today, and then it had a second deadline after that. So we are continuing in a normal kidnapping case. There would be contact by now, trying to discuss that. But those are the timeframes we are looking at as we move forward. I think a second demand was for next Monday.
The first deadline's passed, and as far as we know, the supposed kidnappers haven't proved Nancy Guthrie's alive. Here's how it all started on Saturday night. Nancy Guthrie took an Uber to her daughter's house nearby. The daughter's named Annie. She lives with her husband, Tommaso. Dinner, games, normal night. At 9:48, a family member dropped her back off at home. But who?
We know she took an Uber to Annie's house, but can you confirm whether it was Annie or her son-in-law, Tommaso, who took her home that night?
I think the timeline that the sheriff provided was a family member, but
Just family. Yeah. We're going to go with family.
Why won't they tell us which family member dropped her off? Because yesterday, the sheriff told the New York Times who it was. Quote, Miss Guthrie's son-in-law, Tommaso Cioni, dropped her off and ensured she made it inside safely before leaving, the sheriff added. Now, if they know who...
I love how he just called that out. And that's something we've been saying on the channel. Why is the sheriff switching things up? Why does this sheriff keep switching up about who, dropped off Nancy? At first, it went from children, and then it went to family, then it went to Annie, then it went to Tommaso, and then it went back to family. He wouldn't say today. He's scared. The sheriff is scared to say Tommaso's name. Why? Why? Why?
Who dropped her off? Why a day later are they being so vague? At 1:47 a.m., Nancy's doorbell camera disconnects. Authorities say it was physically removed, and it's still missing. Just 25 minutes later, at 2:12 a.m., security software flags a person on a camera. But there's a problem.
At 2:12 a.m., software detects a person on a camera, but there's no video available. They had no subscription, and therefore it would rewrite itself. It just kind of loops, right, and covers up.
Just 16 minutes after a person's detected at her house, the pacemaker app connected to her phone was disconnected. Makes sense because her phone was left behind. Now, Sunday morning, Nancy doesn't show up for church. Unusual for her. By noon Sunday, family members go in to check on her, and she's not there, and the police are called. Investigators say the case is now entering a critical forensic phase. They've also confirmed blood was found at the house, and they know who it belongs to.
I think you all know the blood on the porch. That was one we did. It came back to Nancy.
They're reviewing surveillance video from nearby homes, cell tower data, and license plate cameras. But no Nancy. She lives in a remote Arizona desert community. Homes spaced far apart, surrounded by desert foliage. As for the ransom note, investigators haven't ruled out a hoax. There was a third ransom note, but it turned out to be fake, linked back to Derrick, CALLELLA. He demanded Bitcoin from the Guthries. One local news anchor whose station received a different note, the one that authorities are locked in on, says the details were terrifying.
A lot of it is information that only someone who is holding her for ransom would know. Some very sensitive information and things that people who weren't there when she was taken captive would know.
Investigators say the letter included no proof of life and no way to contact whoever sent it.
There has been no proof of life, and there was no other demands within that letter. So they're still waiting for communication.
Does the ransom note that you're working establish any communication protocols in it?
No, it does not.
Harvey Levin at TMZ just spoke to CNN. He received the same ransom note. Here's what he said.
They began the letter. I don't think I'm giving anything away here. They began the letter by saying that that Nancy is okay but scared. So they say she is okay, and also that she's aware of the letter and the demands.
Time's of the essence, and mistakes may have been made. Authorities initially cleared the scene, Nancy's house. Then yesterday, they went back in.
You had the crime scene process. You said you went back out there. Your partners wanted to see it, but you guys were actively taking out evidence yesterday. Was there something you missed the first time, or did you get a new piece of information that led you to believe you needed to go back out and take more than you had that first day?
We may go out to a crime scene and think we got it all, go analyze evidence, and something comes back and says, hey, did you check this? We're not going to just say, oops, and not go. Absolutely. In this instance, it really was the FBI just wanted to go, hey, can we take a look at it?
The sheriff cleared the crime scene before the FBI even arrived and didn't have deputies posted at the house. Apparently, reporters were just strolling right up to the door and taking pictures of blood stains, contaminating the crime scene. We also aren't getting clear answers as to whether there were signs of forced entry. At first, sources told the AP it was forced entry. Now, the sheriff says this.
Oh, here's the other thing. Someone had mentioned there was forced entry. I have no clue where that comes from. We have been very consistent. We are not discussing that at all, whether it's forced entry or not forced entry. That is something we're just not discussing. So I don't know where anybody got that information.
So the sheriff won't tell us whether there was forced entry or not. He probably has his reasons. If there was no forced entry, then someone knew how to get inside. Maybe somebody was already there when she was dropped off. We don't even know if Nancy locked her doors. She entered through the garage, and 2 minutes passed before the garage closed. Was someone laying in wait? We don't know. We spotted this last night. It's called a Celebrite device, high-tech equipment used to extract data from phones and computers. Agents brought it over to Savannah's sister's house yesterday. That's where the siblings recorded their emotional video. Was the FBI searching the Guthrie's family phones? Quite possible. Nancy Guthrie is 84 years old. It is incredibly rare to kidnap someone in their 80s. 0.2% of kidnappings are people of that age. If this was about money, why send ransom notes to TMZ? Why not go directly to the Guthrie family? And why not include a way to contact them? Last night, the Guthries begged for answers.
We are ready to talk. However, we live in a world where voices and images are easily manipulated. We need to know, without a doubt, that she is alive and that you have her.
At this point, the only thing keeping the family's spirit up is hope.
That was a good report. That was a good report. He's calling it out. He's kind of calling out the, the discrepancies, the secret stuff in reference what has been relayed to the public by the sheriff. Throwing shade. He's throwing shade. It's good. It's a good report. It's a good report. One question Jesse Walters said something interesting and it had my mind going. we'll put this photo up here. Had my mind going earlier today. I was like, what if, speculation, this is all speculation. What if there was a plot on Nancy and Nancy was to go over to Annie and Tommaso's home, and then someone else is at Nancy's home waiting for when she comes back, and then ambushes her or holds her, and then that person's corresponding with someone else. They bring the vehicle and lure her in the vehicle. Like somebody's already there. Like they drew her out of the house for someone to be at that house. I think this kidnapping thing is a conspiracy. I think it's more than one person. I don't think one sole person did this. I think this is like there's people involved. Like more than people. So, you know, again, this is just speculating. I'm just speculating here, because one thing I find very interesting is why the heck would she even take an Uber over and not take an Uber back home? But I get it. Sometimes, I guess sometimes people say take one-way Uber and then someone offers to drive. But also I'm thinking, why didn't she take an Uber home, and why did Tommaso bring her home? Makes me wonder if something happened over there at Annie's home, where she couldn't get back in an Uber because the Uber driver would see her or see something on her, maybe under the influence or drugged up or something. You know, I'm just speculating. I'm just speculating. She takes an Uber over, but she doesn't take an Uber back. The sheriff said to the New York Times, he could sit there and say family all he wants, but the sheriff had said to the New York Times that he is the one. He is the one that dropped her off. But he don't want to say that now. Again, speculation, folks. Personally, in my opinion, I'll give you my opinion. I believe this guy's involved. I believe this guy's involved. I do. I just do. I believe it. I believe it. Again, if it's not true, it's not. Just so much shady stuff. It's just that I mean, they're literally, they towed their vehicle. They took their vehicle. Agents now today have been in their neighborhood canvassing. You can read between the lines. The media is doing routes from their house to Nancy's just to show. They extracted stuff from their devices inside their home. Though, in mitigating circumstances, you got Savannah side by side with Annie. I don't see Savannah's side. I don't see any other family members aligned with Tommaso. Annie, yes. Tommaso, no. Number two, FBI agents. They're all out there at the home yesterday putting out that video. So if they were suspects, these individual suspects, why would they even do that? And two, they released the crime scene originally back to this family. And these two individuals are a victim to the idiot that we talked about at the beginning of this. The idiot, this guy, is the one that tried to extort Tommaso and Annie. But it goes to kind of what the sheriff said today about, you know, the names are being out there. They could be victims too. These two are victims from this guy. Believe it or not, as much as you might think Tommaso is involved and Annie's involved and they know something, they're victims to this guy right here. This guy got arrested for sending Tommaso and Annie a Bitcoin text. It's crazy. But, you know, I don't know. I don't know. I mean, it's clear that someone knows about that house. Someone got information from someone else to know the layout of that house. Could this have, again, I'm sure authorities are looking through everyone's finances, finding out if anyone's in debt, anyone's in desperate need for money, any wills, life insurance policies, changes on anything, on anyone's financials, powers of attorneys over any other people. I'm sure they're combing through all that, right? Because believe it or not, when this is all said and done, the perpetrator, whoever the perpetrator might be, when we get that affidavit of probable cause, it's not going to be weak sauce. These things aren't, this is a high profile case. It will be impressive. And it will have an elaborate thing on pieces, surveillance, bank records, FBI cast, phone records, phone extractions, and ring cameras and tracking and who knows. It's going to be sophisticated when this affidavit of probable cause comes out. Arrest warrant, whatever, you know, the details of how this all went down. To me, it's a conspiracy. There's a conspiracy here. There's a conspiracy. It's not one sole person that did this. It's a conspiracy. That's my opinion. Again, my opinion. Speculation. Speculation. But who did this and why? 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 84 years old. Why? Why? Is it because of Savannah? Is it because she has money and she's 84 and they thought they could just take advantage? Somebody could take advantage of an older woman, try to get her wealth, try to get the remaining money that she has. You know, listen, we could be totally wrong on all this. All of us, we could be wrong, our theories, but you know, this is a case that it's like a mystery. We're like playing the game of Clue. And it's real life, but you see who did what, who's this, and we're here. We're here. Unfortunately, these characters' names got out there. Ashley Banfield put this guy's out here, you know, yesterday. She's doubling down. You know, I have my suspicions, but I could be 100% wrong. 100% wrong on my suspicions. You know, chat saying things, you know, if you know, the chat would probably say, JLR, he didn't have nothing to do with it. Take his photo down, nothing. But quite a few people agree. Not everybody. But, you know, it's kind of like a ratio. Ratio on Twitter. You put a tweet out. If you're totally wrong about your tweet, you're going to get roasted. And that's not happening here. It's not happening in this chat. And I welcome all people's opinions. If you guys say, hey, you got it wrong, why would you do this to this guy? But the stuff is out there. There's suspicions. Plus, the sheriff has not cleared anyone. He said no one has been ruled out. Now, it'd be wrong once somebody's ruled out and you continue to pound and say, that person did it. They did it, despite the fact that the authorities, but no one has been ruled out. Rimfire. Their title in their band. Rimfire's talking about here, the title in the band. He's in a band, and the title of the band literally says life, love, murder. And that's him. You see the arrow up there at the top of the screen? That's him in his band, his bandmates. Life, love, murder. What the heck does that mean? But again, you're the last person with somebody and you got stuff like this. It's going to make people question. It's just going to make people question. In the moment when someone's still missing, generally, I think everyone's general heart or in good intentions want to find Nancy and find out who could have done this. Hey, Jumpsuit Pablo, nice to see you. Great work as always. Jumpsuit Pablo in the house. Check out his videos. He does awesome prison stuff. Prison related. Calling out the crazies in prison. But seriously, folks, you know, there's media all around the neighborhoods. I mean, this is everybody wants to know what's going on. You know, this is one of those stories. You get these type of stories once every couple years. This is it. This is similar to like Moscow, Idaho. We're on that level right now, and it's going to be more if they don't find Nancy the next day. I don't think this goes away. There's too much media there. I mean, this is on the level of like Gabby Petito, Brian Laundrie. This is on the level of Moscow, Idaho, and now we're on this. Literally, it's like true crime cases in the last couple of years. Big, big, big cases. And the media is not going to let it go. I don't think the media is just going to pack up and go on this one. They're not. And you're talking about Savannah Guthrie, an NBC co-host of a billion-dollar company of media, an iconic figure. She is an iconic figure. Like Savannah's like top notch. She's like the top 1% of media journalists. She's literally an anchor. It's not going away until Nancy is. These people. I mean, the media is crafty too. The media is slick too. The media will, drive law enforcement towards a certain direction too. If the media gets wind of certain things, the media puts pressure on police too to solve things. For real. There's a conspiracy here. There's something. There's something. One sole person couldn't get Nancy out of that house. I don't believe it. I don't believe one sole person. I believe that you have to. One person's not sophisticated enough to do this alone and do this. Just pull this off. Pull this off. One person, nah. There had to have been some idea where you bamboozle and conspiracy stuff. Now, I just want to. Greed overtakes logic, I guess. But there is some level of smarts here because she's not found. So the people that did this, or person that did this, but I think it's people, has to have some intelligence in a sense because they've been able to outmaneuver the police for now, though I think police know who did this. You just have to prove it. You have to prove it. You have to prove it. Might know it. Plus, if she is alive and you arrest the person responsible, you might blow that opportunity to get her alive because then at that point, you just kill her. The person, whoever has her. She's somewhere. Is she alive? Is she alive? She very well could be alive. She very well could. But this is a life. If she's found alive, though, whoever did this is getting life. This is a life case. Just for this, you're getting life. If she's found alive, you're going to get life. If she's found dead, you're getting the death penalty. In Arizona, if she's found dead and whoever did this is getting the death penalty. If she's found alive, you get life. That's it. Unless the person that did it ends up taking their own life, and sometimes there's unfortunate craziness happens. Dude, I was so tempted to going out there, and I still am, and I'm still like, I know people are like contributing, and I appreciate that. I mean, my mind is like, should I go? But then I'm like, studio stuff is kind of, it's hard being boots on the ground in a sense because one, I think the footage out there in her particular area sucks as far as like pixelated, and I've seen some streamers out there, it's pixelated, and the only way you really have but that guy's that 847 Tucson that we were restreaming, he had a pretty good feed. It was coming in and out. It was pretty good. But I've seen others that was just complete garbage. So it's like pixelated. You need like a live view to be out there. But will the media start going away from Nancy's home? Like, what's at Nancy's home? What is everyone waiting out there at Nancy's home? What are they waiting? They're waiting for her to come home. They're waiting for someone to come out. I think the neighbor coming out there saying she gave police a tip was probably their biggest thing that they had there in the last couple hours. But the paparazzi will stay. The media will stay. The media will stay. I just don't know where they'll go. They're going to go and camp out in front of, there might be, what I suspect could happen if they don't find Nancy in the next 24 hours. We'll hear a story where somebody will lawyer up. Somebody's lawyer up. Somebody was seen at a lawyer. Someone's lawyering up, or, something like that. Like, what would be the next spot? Because he's not giving any more. The sheriff Nanos is not giving any more press conferences. Dude, I saw something they posted. Like, the sheriff just got reelected, and he only won by like 400 votes. Like, it was like really, really tight. Really tight. I don't know, folks, Law enforcement knows what they're doing. They know what they're doing. I think they know. They just don't know where. I don't believe they know where she's at. but I think they know who's partially responsible for this. But I believe there is others. But the person partially responsible probably wasn't the actual person that actually, kidnapped her. I think it's a conspiracy. I think we have like conspiracy stuff. Now, you're probably going to get more wackadoodles like this that come out of the woodwork, trying to interject themselves into the fray and do stupid stuff. I wouldn't do it. That's crazy. Don't contact the Guthries, man, and do some dumb stuff like that. Dude, they're like literally on their phone, the feds, and they will track anybody down that contacts the Guthries trying to be funny, slick, malicious. They're gonna get you. The feds will get you. Dude, they came to this dude's house within 15 hours. As soon as she put that plea last night, this idiot, right after the plea came out, this idiot starts texting Tommaso and Annie about Bitcoin. Send me the Bitcoin and things like that. Now, they're going to forward it to law enforcement right there. Look. Law enforcement's hunting down, and they hunted this down guy quickly and got him into custody. Boom. And they probably drilled and crushed him completely. Where is she? Where is he? As if he kidnapped her. They probably did at first. Maybe think, who's on the other end here? Maybe the person on the other end in California, Los Angeles, the one that did it. This guy's been arrested. I even forgot his name already. What is his name? Derrick. His name's Derrick. Derrick CALLELLA. Now she's passed. If she passed away, I mean, what does someone have to? Could there be any type of negotiations going on right now? Like, could they get into someone's head and say, "Look, man, telling the others right now and save yourself, and you can avoid getting the death penalty." If there's a conspiracy, the law enforcement works deals out. Sometimes they make deals with the devil. Works deals. Tell where she is. Snitch on someone else, and you'll get the better deal. Death penalty case. Arizona? Yeah, death penalty case. Feds, death penalty. Well, feds are on it. I don't know if this would be a federal charge. Well, yeah, I mean, yeah, I guess if those ransoms are legit, if those ransoms are legitimately from the person, I think that turns this into a federal case. I think the feds have taken over the case. Personally, I think the feds have taken the lead in this case. Case in point, let me go to Brian Enton because he said something interesting a couple hours ago. It was something like, the sheriff says he didn't know the SAVANNAH Guthrie video was made until his wife showed him. Seems FBI is in control now. And that's what Brian Enton tweeted out. Meaning the sheriff Nanos didn't know SAVANNAH Guthrie was doing that video until the sheriff's wife let the sheriff know SAVANNAH Guthrie posted that video yesterday on Instagram. Meaning sheriff's out of the loop. Sheriff's not knowing what's going on. The feds there because the feds are at the house with Annie and SAVANNAH and Cameron making the video because they brought the white light there, and the equipment and everything like that. But the sheriff's out of the loop. Reminds me of the Nakatomi building at Die Hard, the movie. Remember Die Hard? Police, LAPD, Simon, or those people are up there, or Hans Gruber is up there in the Nakatomi building, and LAPD has it or surrounding, and the feds come to the scene, and there's a scene in that movie where the feds go, he's like, who's in charge here? And the LAPD chief's like, I'm Chief so-and-so, I'm in charge. And the FBI guy comes in, not now. I'm in charge now. Something like that. I watch too much movies. I apologize, but movies are great, especially the 80s. I don't watch movies anymore, but those 80s, 90s movies, the best. Hans Gruber, they took over the Nakatomi building, but the feds come in and just be like, yo, psst, we got this. You ain't running the show anymore. We're running the show. Step aside. And that seems like what's happened with Nanos here, because Nanos is already messed up. Nanos has botched these press conferences. Let's be real. Nanos has, you know, we support law enforcement, right? I do. I support law enforcement. But Nanos is all over the map with these press conferences. He's all over the map. I don't think he's built for this moment. I just don't think Nanos is built. Now, they've probably got some very good deputies and sheriffs there, but Nanos, as far as being a spokesman, giving those press conferences, he's misspoke. He's said things that have not been true. I don't think he's ready for the bright lights. Nanos, flashing lights. He can't handle it. So the feds coming in and we got this. They released the crime scene and possibly gave it back to somebody that might be involved. Who does that? Because they released the crime. Not only that, defense attorneys. We got any defense attorneys up in the chat? Defense attorneys will tell you. Whoever gets caught with this, if they found more evidence based off that second search when they redid the crime scene yesterday and put the tape back up and went in the garage, if they find anything out of that could be used against the defendant and the defendant gets caught, the defense is going to suppress that evidence and say the crime scene has been tainted. The crime scene has been compromised. You guys could have planted it. You had a crime scene. You released the crime scene. The crime scene's wide open for anyone to trample all over the crime scene. And now you put crime scene tape back up. And that was the feds that put the crime scene tape back up. Now, I'm not saying the defense would win on that, but a defense attorney would capitalize off that big time. I don't know. Am I right or wrong? All right, let's see what else is cooking. Let's see what else is brewing out there with this situation. We're pretty much up to speed. I think I'm going to sign off here shortly for the night. And we can go back at it tomorrow because I'm sure when we wake up in the morning, there'll be stuff popping off. And then I'm going to sit here and I'm going to kind of like drink coffee in a bit and kind of pace back and forth and say, should I go? Should I go out there? Should I go out there? Should I go out there? Because I'm really like, I'm 50-50. We should do like a coin flip. Like I'm literally like 50-50. But it's also, I don't know, man, because the internet, every year, I think on this channel, we get better and better and better in scouring information and scouring what's going on and who's saying what. And we're pretty much in real time. We stay ahead of the curve on the channel. So anything that's like breaking, whatever, it's really easy to do in a studio when something's popping off. Plus, y'all send like tips. Y'all in the chat, y'all say, "Hey, JLR," like a lot of you were informing me about this newly released video by Cameron. You're like, JLR, new video out. JLR, go to this location, whatever like that. It's hard to do that on boots on the ground. You could do it in a studio and you can get it out there quick. So it's a pros and cons. But at the same time, a journalist can't really go out there and be the investigator and try to crack the case. You just got to cover the latest developments of what's going on here because the investigator's going to crack this case, though they get tips and everything like that. Journalists kind of, go with the direction, I guess. But will a journalist crack this case? Will a YouTuber crack this case? YouTuber's done it before. Maybe. I don't know. YouTubers can crack cases. I would just say, whoever's the suspects, just watch them. Watch their network. Just watch people. Just watch people. Watch how people behave and everything like that. Watch how people behave. But, put yourself in this guy's shoes. What happens if he is not involved? What happens if this guy is 100% innocent? I'm going to feel a little guilty here. I'm not going to lie. Like, hey, we put him out there. I made arrows saying he's suspect. So it sucks. It sucks. If he's innocent. If he's 100% innocent. If he's 100% innocent. But there's some clues. There's some clues that seem to indicate that he's involved in this. Ashley Banfield, her reporting, that is still on her channel. She would probably be the number one person that would get sued because, she literally, put this guy out there on blast. But then you're hearing, like, we just listened to Jesse Waters' report. Jesse Waters kind of throwing shade at this guy. Vehicle seized. I might go out there. You might come in out there and attack me. Oh, you're the one that's talking about me on the internet. Nothing personal, Tommaso. We're just trying to find Nancy. I'd take all my videos down. I would. Do I feel a little bit guilty if this guy had nothing to do with it? Yeah. I mean, yeah. Because we're putting him out there, but we're all trying to find out who did this, you know? I felt bad for, you know, Showalter and college roommates, Hoodie Guy. Remember Hoodie Guy in Moscow, Idaho? Look what Hoodie Guy. Man, these guys were like tracking his family down to Africa and scouring all over Jack DeCour's profiles. Remember Jack DeCour? Hoodie Guy, roommate, Mad Greek people, Sigma Chi. We're talking about Moscow, Idaho. Unfortunately, this is what happens when you have these big mega cases. There's going to be people out there that get their names, you know? But you know, it can happen to all of us. It happens to all of us. It can happen to any one of us. Happen to any one of us. Anyone can just say anything or do anything. It can happen to any one of us. Just have to deal with it. I mean, eventually people move on, you know, but do they have this guy under surveillance? Has he been fully cooperative? Has he taken a lie detector? Where's Nancy Grace? Nancy Grace should say, hey, Tommaso, come on my show, like he did, like she did with Seth Rogers in Sebastian Rogers' case. Come take a polygraph. Will you be willing to take a polygraph, Chris Powellfoot? Well, I'll do it under my terms. Take a polygraph. Take a polygraph. JLR, new video on News Nation. What we got, News Nation? News Nation's doing a great job out there. It's Ashley Banfield and Brian Enton working in tandem. They got efficient News Nation when it comes to true crime. They got an efficient. Oh, look at this. Sheriff pleads with Nancy captors. Oh, we got Sheriff Nanos on News Nation. Elizabeth Vargas too in the mix. She's a good news anchor. I'm gonna get this up. The sheriff went on News Nation. Thank you for sharing that. All right. We're going to hear from Sheriff Nanos. I'm going to get this up. News Nation, Elizabeth Vargas. Sheriff pleads with Nancy Guthrie's captors. Dun, dun, dun. All right. Here we go, folks. Here we go. We love this stuff. I don't know if News Nation likes us playing reports, but everything here is fair use because we're critiquing. We're sharing reports. That's how it works too. You know, I know some people might be like, hey, you're playing my footage and everything like that. Unfortunately, there is a thing called fair use out there. And fair use is if we're all talking about it, and we're all commenting and we're listening to things and commenting, it's clearly fair use. Fair use. Fair use. I had a big debate with Sinclair. They were trying to come at me, Sinclair, and we had to settle this. They're like, oh, you used my 10-second clip. Copyright infringement. All right, here we go. Nanos. Elizabeth Vargas.
Well, we take everything seriously here on something like this. It's like Special Agent Yankee said. This is an 85-year-old mother, 85-year-old grandma, who in the middle of her night, while she's sleeping in her bedroom, she disappears. You just saw the video with the family. That's just heartbreaking. And I didn't even know that video was made. I believe my wife shared it with me on Facebook. And I probably, like all of you, saw it and thought, yeah, these people are hurting. And we just need mom back.
The first deadline for payment passed literally 4 minutes ago. What did the note threaten if payment was not received?
You know, I can't get into that because that note in the ransom was altered over the FBI. I'm sorry?
Was there a threat?
I don't know. I can't speak to any of that. That is a part of the investigation that we've turned to the FBI. They have great expertise in dealing in these matters, and I would defer any comment on anything with the ransoms to them.
Can you tell me anything about the arrest today of a person who sent a fake ransom demand?
I know what you know probably. You probably know more. I wasn't able to watch their press release, but I would tell you this.
Hold on a second. Hold on a second. Hold on a second. Dude, it seems like Nanos is out. Dude, he's out of the loop of everything. You don't know nothing. Or is he playing dumb? He's deferring it to the feds. Am I right here or wrong? Like it seems like they're not telling him anything. They're not telling him anything. I don't know. He doesn't know about Savannah's video. He just doesn't know about anything about a threat and ransom. Like he doesn't know specifics unless he's lying. This is the sheriff of Pima County. I don't know. Maybe the feds are just like, you're out of here, dude. Take a back seat. Take a back seat. I don't think he's incompetent. I think at this point it's way over his head. And the feds are coming in and the feds are running the show. Kash Patel's feds, Pam Bondi's DOJ. You know, they're running the show. The Trump administration's DOJ's in there and they're just like ruffling feathers and making things happen. And this guy's just put to the side, cast him to the side. That's where it is because it's where it seems like, but he gave a press conference with the FBI. People saying he's cartel owned. I've been hearing that. I've been hearing about the corruption and everything like that. You know, he's cartel owned. That's cartel helped him push him over the 400 votes he needed to get reelected. I don't know. Is the FBI doing a good job on this case? That's up to debate. I mean, Nancy's not found. But it seems like a lot of things have been happening.
Repeating exactly what Special Agent Yonke said. If you're doing this, and we find you, you will be prosecuted. You will be held accountable. So please, for the safety of this lady, for the safety of her and the good of the community and her family, please knock that off. Don't be a knucklehead. Come on.
Yeah, it's amazing what people will do in a time like this. You revealed today a detailed timeline of when Nancy got home Saturday night, which was around 10, shortly before 10 p.m., and then that the door camera was disconnected at 1:47 a.m., and that camera sensors, which were still working, detected someone or something moving in or near the house 15 minutes later. Is there no way to get video of whatever that sensor was picking up?
Well, we haven't given up. When we sent that device in, the company who did the analysis of that basically pulled up what it could, what they claimed that's all they could get. This device, think of your Ring camera, my Ring camera at home or whatever it is, you get some motion in front of it and it says there's a person detecting. But there was no video of that. And we're not sure quite why. We understand there was no subscription services. We also believe that that system they had every 2 or 3 hours just is on a loop and it tapes over itself. But we've not given up. We'll take that and send it out to another company and hope for the best with it.
So you were still actively trying to figure out a way to recover the images that camera, that sensor might have detected. Can you confirm if other cameras were also disconnected in or near the home?
We can confirm that we do have possession of other cameras, and those are being analyzed as we speak. I'm not even sure we know exactly which camera it was that said person detected. But those things are in the works, and we hopefully we'll get something back here in the next few days.
You confirmed today that the blood on the front step is from Nancy. Sheriff, that seems to indicate she was hurt pretty badly.
You know, what I would say is this. We know it was blood, and we now know whose blood it was. But what we don't know is we don't know when that occurred. It could have been, I understand the thinking that, hey, she was hurt and from the night's events, but we don't know. That blood could have been 2 hours before, could have been 2 days before. We just know it was blood.
Thank you for watching.
What do you think? Sheriff say anything? I want to put up this. Hold on, stand by. Somebody said there was a chopper. We got a comment from LEG saying there was a chopper up in the sky. And there is a chopper up in the sky, but it is an Army chopper. So I just want to point that out. Because we keep looking at Flight Radar 24. Flight Radar 24 would indicate sometimes, you know, if authorities, but this is an Army. The only chopper I see right here is an Army chopper, and it's like by Mount Lemmon. It's in the Mount Lemmon area. It's circling up there, which I find interesting. Isn't that where the ski resort is up there? There's a ski resort. I think it's called Frostproof up there or something. Is it Frostproof? But there is a Army chopper. Now, where is that relative to where Nancy went missing? Well, Nancy went missing right here in the Catalina Foothills. Right here. Matter of fact, it's probably right where that arrow is, like right there. Let me see. I think right in this neighborhood, right in here. Make sure I got Camel, right? Camel. East Skyline. This was the shopping plaza when I just shared with you this. Do I still got that tweet? Yeah, I do. Hold on. That right there. So that, I'll show you exactly where that is. That would be right there. Oh, for some reason, right here. It'd be right there. That shopping plaza. She lives in right around here. So I'm just showing you how it is. Now, we go Flight Radar 24. There is an Army chopper. It's not a Pima County. It's not, you know, an Army chopper, but there's been a lot of Army choppers circling the area. Is this connected in any way? Well, I will say, you know, the Catalina Foothills, if you were going to dispose of a body, a criminal, if they were going to dispose of the body and they actually killed her, because there's people in the chat that are saying, and we're having adult conversations, you know, I don't want to be offensive and everything to say she's dead or anything like that, or she's dead, to use the word dead or die or whatever like that. Okay. But say she's dead and say someone disposed of her. Where would you dispose of a body? And my take is, in this situation, you would pretty much go Catalina Foothills and you go over here to the Catalina. There's like a road here. It's called the Catalina Parkway, and it takes you up to Mount Lemmon, and it's just canyons. It's like a windy road. And there's so many like little dirt roads off there and or whatever, but there's just, you know, like once you go off the road, it's nothing but you just drop a body out there or something, you know? And I'm just thinking, if you're going to get rid of a body, now you could do it there, or you could go out way out here, cacti, desert area. It's just desert. There's so much desert outside Tucson. You know, it's not hot out, but there's desert. But there are people are also saying there's lots of places probably in the Catalina Foothills that you could dispose of a body, you know? I mean, does a criminal drive around long distance with a body in their trunk? A criminal. Would a criminal drive long distance with a body in their trunk? Sometimes criminals go very, very short distance and dumpsters, whatever like that, get rid of things. If she's dead. But again, you know, they're going kind of like going as if they feel like she's still alive out there. She could be alive until proven otherwise. Kind of like one of those things when you search for somebody, like, you know, if you don't find the body, you might think, hey, the person's out there somewhere alive. There's hope. There's hope. There's hope. So let's see what else is brewing. We're going to stay on this case. So, you know, for sure. And, you know, if there's an arrest or something like that, pretty much you'll probably hear it here first. We'll be up quickly. I got these certain alerts. So even if things pop off in the middle of the night, we catch it. It's hard to slip by us more than an hour. We catch it. We catch things, you know, like pretty quickly, you know, and, you know, things could pop off anytime. Plus, you know, like for me, I'm on the East Coast. It's 9:30 p.m. Eastern, wherever you're at. They're 3 hours behind. Or 2 hours. They're actually two. They're a little bit behind. West Coast. West Coast. All right, so I'm going to keep this up here for a second. Remember this face. We've been roasting this guy pretty hard. This guy here, Derrick. And what a crazy wackadoodle. You know, those other ransoms that the media got, if they aren't the actual person that did the kidnapping, there might be prosecuted too. Those people that sent those emails out with the fake ransoms to the news stations and TMZ, if it's not the real person, they could very well be next. So we'll call out the ransom crazies out there. Did anything else? Have I missed anything? Is anything else popping? Throw it in the chat right now if anything else is popping. But if not, we're winding down. We're closing the studio for the night. We hope Nancy is found safe. And the people or person that did this is held accountable. It's Wackadoodle Thursday. Tomorrow is Friday, isn't it? Yes, it is. Tomorrow's Friday. All right, folks. That's it for the night. Share the video out, like, sub, hit that notification button. And we're closely monitoring the situation. And, of course, anything else. You know, personally, you know, the last couple of weeks we've been covering protests, which are, you know, I think is very important. But I was getting protest fatigue, man. I was like, man, this stuff's getting old. You know, it's important issues in the world, but this is a serious, this is a crazy case. You know, we're not here to per se solve the case, whatever like that. You know, we're doing online sleuthing, everything like that. We just want to know what's going on, and we're glued in. This is like we're all glued in. We're glued in, and we want to know every twist and turn. What's latest? You know, some of us probably keep refreshing our screens, keep listening to the reports, finding out what journalist finds the next something else, some exclusive with somebody. You know. One thing I would like to know, though, see, as we talk, we can just keep going. Where is he at? Where is he at? Where is he at? Tommaso. Hey, somebody should come out and say, hey, he's a good guy. Or somebody give some sort of exclusive that knows him personally. And we're talking about him in general, or anyone centered around this case. Somebody that knows them very close to spill the tea. Spill the tea. An exclusive. So we'll wait for that too. We'll wait for that. All right. I am officially signing off. JLR Investigates. We cover breaking news, true crime, 24/7, 365. Y'all have a good evening, folks. Stay tuned. We're glued on our seats. Anything breaks, you'll hear it here on JLR Investigates. Y'all have a great evening. Be safe out there. Until next time.